The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
Love magic so much. Now I
Yeah,
know
and then you play
Pathfinder
a
went down a
fighter and you're
different
like-
path. Oh, melee classes were a joke. If you played a melee class
I'm playing
in
a barbarian
3.5,
that I'm enjoying, okay?
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, he's great. He's the greatest
you
stupid
can enjoy
character.
it, but it's still
at
like
16th or 17th level when the wizard says, okay, I drop a mountain on him. And you're like, I swing my axe.
No. When the wizard said they drop a mountain on him, I'm the mountain. They just fly me up and drop me on him.
Are we seriously?
What?
Are we
Hey
Have we
everybody,
been live?
welcome back.
Hi.
God
Hi.
fucking damn it.
It's been a while.
Hi, everybody.
I was gonna let you guys just rant about 3rd edition and stuff.
I could see it in his freaking face,
I
and I
have
just
not
never-
looked over at
Look at
Scotty,
him.
or I
I'm
would have
looking at my
noticed.
character sheet, trying to remember what the fuck we were doing last time.
I was looking from Cat to Blake to I saw Callie make a face, and then I looked back to Cat, so I didn't catch it.
Alright, everybody roll me a d6. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I already jumbled you guys enough already. So last time, on Goes to Saltmarsh, I gotta be honest, the last thing I remember is Kade decided to go and find this vampire that everybody was talking about and figured out where it was at, and it's underneath the Crabber's Cove.
Yep.
And Kade went there, and everyone else figured out, like, shit, Kade went off to run ahead and Leroy Jenkins. And everyone's running off to try to get to her.
Actually, if it's okay, I'd like to do something extremely rare. I'd like to do the recap.
By all means.
Because it's been on my mind thinking about what else we could discuss that gave Jesse such a shitty response to me earlier in chat. We were making the preparations to go in and deal with, quote unquote, the vampire under the school. And by deal with, I still don't know if we ever reached a consensus on if we were talking or killing.
No.
We had set up the mirrors. We were all starting to get in place. And that's when Kade was hiding in the shadows, or more specifically on top of a building. And then just as we were getting ready, she ran past all of us to go in there and talk to him herself. And we ended before any of that started taking place.
I also just looked back and realized that we spent almost an hour and a half dicking around chasing some weasels under the house.
Less chasing, more detonating. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Okay.
I do remember
Yeah.
that
I was
now.
just finishing the weasels part of my recap, watching the recap. So I didn't get anything after the weasels exploded.
Makes me kind of wish one of you had artificer so they could make giant steel boots and it'd just be weasel stomping bits.
Don't
I mean, it wouldn't
tempt
have helped
me.
us.
Don't tempt me.
For weasel
I
stomping
like
bit.
Weird Al. I like Weird Al. Don't tempt me.
I'll get the mayonnaise.
Yeah. So where are we at this point?
Kade.
More importantly, where's Katie?
We are
Katie.
literally right outside the school. Kade is already in the fucking school. She is talking. She is ready to talk to that vampire.
Kade, roll me a d20.
Okay. Let me find one. I'm gonna roll it
Like
right
that.
here.
Don't worry, this doesn't affect you, it just affects the entire world.
Great. It's rolling. It's rolling very slowly. Oh, ooh. Wait, what is that? It's a 16? That's a 16.
Okay, it's around 11 o'clock a.m.
Great. Ah!
The lower it was, the more close to nighttime it was going to be.
Cool.
Oh, great. Super
Because
fantastic.
I forgot what time of day it was, but I know it had to have been daytime, because you all wouldn't have done this otherwise, because that's the whole reason you set up the mirrors.
Correct.
11 o'clock is probably about right because we woke up first thing and we planned to go. And then there
we
was the
got
whole
distracted
weasel
by
drama.
weasels.
So, yeah, 11 o'clock is probably pretty close to
Yeah.
right on the money.
So you get to the door, and you swing it open, right?
Whee! And I rushed through
Alright.
because they all tried to grab me.
Yes, we did.
And you run inside.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you open the door, and you run inside this dark basement. Do you have dark vision or any form of light source?
I have a purple ever-burning torch.
Cool. So a purple tint goes off of everything, slightly contrasted by the daylight that is coming in through here a bit, but not too much. Considering that it's like underneath the docks, so there's no direct sunlight coming into the door, except for by mirrors. You see a muddy basement with rotting wooden supports, and you see this weird contraption over in the corner. And it has it's a sarcophagus, but it seems to have almost like these mechanical spider-like legs on it, but they're like all rusted, and they seem to have like become part of the ground at this point. Like it's been here for a very long time.
Reminds me of Webster.
And 2 rocks in the ground, like one in a back corner of the basement, and another one kind of near the coffin, but about 5 feet away from it. This basement, we'll say, is almost like a L Tetris shape, and the coffin's like in the bend of the L, but the basement keeps going straight, or it's maybe a little bit downhill, and you see that one boulder way at the other end. It's just like the top part of the rocks protruding out of the mud, the sandy mud.
Do I see a vampire?
You do not, but you do see a closed coffin.
We did determine. I don't remember. Did we determine whether or not vampires are required to sleep during the day in 5e? I don't think they are.
Technically, in D&D, they're not
In my
required
games-
any level of sleep at all.
In my games, I'm going to say they do. Yes.
If you use undead metabolism rules from 3.5, they do.
They need to, they're not technically sleeping, but they're taking their long rests. So that does change things. Like if they're a spellcaster, that matters. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter.
Hello.
Abby's jogging to catch up.
Everybody
He's
else,
asleep.
roll me initiative.
Oh, great.
This is just to
Okay,
see how
am I
fast
here?
everyone gets there.
Am I here?
But I'm me.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Hoo-wee.
Oh,
Fastest little bullet in town.
today I'm going
5
to be
initiative.
using my Beat Dragon dice that I just got in.
Ooh.
Because I finally checked my mail.
Nice.
From the
Oh, I
retro
gotta check my
Kickstarter.
mail.
I
My
think I'm
mail's
going to do the
full.
same there, Scotty.
Nice.
But definitely my Curse of Strahd D20.
Holy hell.
Mm.
Nice.
For no reason in particular.
Now I'm nervous.
Now.
23.
Okay.
18.
Should have had my notes up. Okay,
would
I
help.
got 23 for Josul, 18 for Sekald. How about Axel?
Dirty 20.
Okay. Abby?
Also with my Beat Dragon dice today.
Nice. How about Abby?
That's a 5.
Nice. Katie?
She knocked you over on her way to get in.
I got a 9.
Just imagining her just grabbing me by the forehead.
Just shoving you backwards as she runs in.
I'm just stuck in the sand like a turtle in my full plate.
Sorry.
And
You're not.
Bryn.
I rolled low. I got a 14.
Okay. Alright, we're still starting with Katie. For things. So, Katie. And you're like, hello, is anybody there? And then that's when the 2 boulders in the ground, you hear like clicking noises, and like they get up, and you notice that they're actually the shells that are like gray and white ivory dead shells of crab folk as they get up and you see glowing red eyes.
Hi.
And
How you
they
doing?
start to slowly step towards you when you hear a creak of metal and screeching of metal on metal, and both of the crabs stop moving and they look over at the coffin.
I'm gonna follow their eye line.
It opens up, and inside you see a younger looking gentleman, fairly pale, in red velvet coffin, though it is very, very worn, with time and salt water damage. He has a sword that is sheathed in there as well. It looks like a long sword, but it's longer than a long sword. If that makes sense. It's like an S-stock, but it's as tall as he is. And he floats out of the coffin and
Whoa!
comes down on his feet, and he says, "Greetings. I believe you're Katie."
How do you know my name?
I forgot to mention there's also a very worn, fancy chair in this basement.
Oh, cool.
It looks like it's been sat in a lot. How could I not know your name? You're one of the heroes of Saltmarsh.
Yeah, but my friends told me you've been locked in this basement for a long time.
Yes. And I'm sure your friends have already told you what I am. Not that I'm hiding it. And he smiles.
They told me.
He smiles, showing his fangs.
Okay, yep, check. Yep. So what's your deal? Like, they said you want to get out?
I would like to, yes. But I am patient. I do have time on my side.
Don't you get hungry down here? Like, how's it go with not eating for a long time?
I have ways of getting meals.
Really? How do you get meals? Do those get? And I point at the crowds. Do they bring food?
That's not a question I think you want to answer.
Oh no, I'm curious.
He hovers towards you.
Ooh.
Now we go into initiative. So,
Katie's reaction. Ooh.
Josul, you are the first one to scurry out of the house after the weasel incident. We're just calling it the weasel incident from now on.
Got it. The exploding weasel incident.
Out of the house, we should have all been right there near the entrance.
Okay, you're like in town. We'll say you're all like, it starts like you're in town and you're heading your way there.
No, okay. I hate to do this, but we literally spent the last 10 minutes of our previous episode setting up the mirrors in
Yeah,
front
we
of the
weren't far.
school. We were right there when she ran past us into the building. We were all right there outside the doors to the school.
The reason we weren't worried about her running in there was because we didn't know where the fuck she was. Because as soon as the weasel incident went down and we were like, okay, let's go talk to the vampire, she's like, and I hide. So they don't know where I am. So they don't know when I'll show up.
Okay. Well, give me one d20 roll, Josul,
Okay.
as you're moving up to the spot.
18 on the dice.
Okay. So we'll say you get to the door on your turn. That does not include your bonus action or just one of your actions in general because you're a rogue. So you can do the double move and still have an action. So you get to the door as Katie is standing there and the vampire is hovering towards her. Ghost style, just like just off.
Right. I'm not entirely sure I have anything in my arsenal at all that can even hurt this guy.
He doesn't
and that's
look
in
hostile.
character.
He's just moving towards her.
Yeah, and I'm sure he doesn't intend to totally suck blood out of her neck and turn her into a vampire spawn or anything, because Katie is gullible enough to stand there and lose all of her blood and let it happen.
As you appear at the door, he stops and he looks over at you.
Isn't your marrow spear silvered?
It's silvered and cold iron. It's both.
Wouldn't that affect a vampire?
Yes.
Josul doesn't know that.
Ah.
Josul's a pirate and a smuggler.
I think Abby.
If it
pretty
doesn't
much
involve
filled in-
illegally stealing things from people or smuggling tax-free goods in the city, it's probably not something he knows about, unless it's food. He's very familiar with food.
From what I remember, both Abigail and Axel rolled really high in their religion checks for vampires, and they gave their knowledge on vampires. So pretty much what you know out of character is what you know in character.
We also spoke to a cleric in Seaton, I think it is, that was more familiar with somebody that had fought this guy before and learned some from him.
Yes.
So the consensus from literally everyone was we're just going to straight murder hobo this guy, right? I mean, other than Katie, of course.
We literally never, I don't think we ever just sat down and said, okay, this is what we're doing.
No,
I
we
think
just
at this
talked in
point,
circles.
yeah, we were talking in circles.
Oh,
Got it.
So
Josul. Seems like your friend got a little lost. Looking over at Kate.
I
Not
don't
lost.
think that's what your intention was as you ominously floated towards her, was it? I say, hand reaching towards my marrow spear.
He puts his feet on. He sighs and puts his feet on the ground.
Why don't you take a few steps backwards before this gets ugly? Last time I checked, you can't leave this room, and my spear can hit the whole thing from here.
Roll intimidation.
Why can't intimidation be lying? I don't know that he can't leave.
You
You
do.
though.
Everybody does.
I mean, I know
That's
that he
the only
said
reason
that.
any of this plan works.
I know
If
that
he
he
can
has
leave,
said
we're all
that.
fucked.
I know that he said that. That doesn't mean he's not lying. I'm really good at deceiving people. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I should roll
Um,
for him too.
also, I'm not sure what Katie's initiative was.
11, because intimidate is not a skill for rogues.
I don't think she rolled yet because it was our initiative to get to her.
Oh, Katie.
Oh no, I
she
got a 9.
But I was doing her thing first, and then I'll start an initiative. So, Josul, do you do anything else in your turn?
I draw my weapon, I suppose, which is probably my whole action since I moved towards the door.
Oh, that's a free action.
You moved in bonus action to get here at the door.
I am. Can I still ready an action?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to hold my spear in a way that looks like I'm kind of just resting it back here like this. But I'm kind of like it's already ready to throw. So I'm not really looking like I'm going to throw it or that it's like up ready to chuck. But I'm kind of trying to disguise the fact that I'm totally readying an action to chuck this into his chest if he takes a step towards her again.
How impolite. I was just greeting my guest. She had a few questions, and I was answering them for her.
While slowly drifting forward.
Yes.
That's not ominous at all from a creature that drinks blood.
Does one continue introduction to a guest by staying in their bed? It seems quite rude.
Would also be rude to walk towards your guest with, your nature being what it is.
That's sounding specious.
If you were a giant walking potato, I would not walk towards you looking hungry.
What a strange metaphor. As we go to the next initiative.
That was
Axel.
my turn. What? Josul loves potatoes, okay? That was the best
Okay.
he could come up with at the time.
Axel, it just takes your move. The reason it takes Josul a dash is because he's Merfolk.
Because I'm hecka slow.
But also at the same time, like Axel, when he comes in, he basically kicks the door open and is backlit by the illumination of the mirror
It's
behind
already
him.
open.
It's, yeah.
There's a big fat 360 plus merman in the doorway.
Well, then
He goes to
Merman
kick the
needs to get
door
out
and he
the
kicks
fucking way
Josul.
because there's-
Whoa!
he's got a 300-pound shadow that's blocking the sunlight here.
Get a pokey flute, he'll move.
Oh,
I don't want to move into the room because I know he can reach every part of the room.
maybe if I give him a poke bowl, he'll move. He's very food.
You
motivated.
know very well if you just said there's bacon over there, Josul would probably look.
do you do anything else as you come into the scene as an action? or
Yeah,
bonus?
I'm gonna fucking fling my hammer.
Oh shit! Okay.
Axel's not wasting time with words and banding about. Like this is an execution.
Wasting times with words and banding about is what Josul does.
Well, okay, he can do that, but Axel is gonna go ahead and swing for the fences with a dirty 20.
I gotta play the character, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, a dirty 20. A dirty 20 would hit.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a 2d6 plus 5. That's a 4 and a 4 and a 5, so 9, 13 bludgeoning damage. Can I reach melee range with him? Can I close?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's actually you can't because your move was to get to the door,
Okay, well,
and you already used your action for an attack.
well, I can use my bonus to recall an extra attack.
Yeah, sure.
So he was just gonna do that then.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. So 16 to hit this time.
16 does not. As he moves
Oh,
out of the
okay.
way.
Whoops. Well, that's my turn.
He seems to start moving as you were throwing, almost like he read your move.
Mhm.
Then he like wipes off his cheek where he got hit. And he's just like, why is everyone gotta end up this way? Then it
Where's
is
the mirrors?
Sekald's turn.
Where's the damn sunlight?
Okay.
You got the mirrors set up, but no one's used an action to arrange them so the
Yeah, I think
sunlight's
you have
coming in.
to. Right.
I thought
think
that
you
was
have
the
to target.
whole.
You have to target him with the mirrors. I think it's like a to hit.
I don't think we ever intended
Yeah,
to hit. It
No,
was
we were
I
just
believe-
flooding the entire room with sunlight from in the doorway.
to-
I'm
yeah,
not done talking to him yet. What's going on?
the original idea was to have it set up so that it was blocking it's flooding the entrance, not necessarily the entirety
Oh,
of the
got
interior,
it. Okay.
blocking the entrance specifically. to
So I
prevent
played
him
perfectly
from
the character by not having paid attention to that and just stood in the doorway.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But it's only flooding the doorway, but I don't believe there's any type of two hit that was ever calculated.
Got it.
Just
Okay.
almost like, does anyone else smell fish sticks? It's just like the sunlight's burning his back.
It's awful warm right here. Huh. Weird.
So
Kind of sweaty. Think I might move a little.
It will take an action for your skull to get to the door. I'm just not for everybody.
So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to get to the very back of the door, of the doorway, to
Okay,
where I
you're
can
5
see
feet
him,
out from the doorway, and you can just barely see him.
but I can see him.
Yeah, Josul and Axel are in the way.
Okay, well,
I know that
counts.
won't matter for what you're doing, but yeah.
Technically it does, but in this case, what I want to do is I want to hold a spell until everybody else gets past me into the room. Once the last person is in, then my spell goes off.
Keep in mind that if that condition is not met, you still spend a spell slot.
I understand,
Okay.
but I'm fairly certain everybody's going in the room at this point.
Okay.
Probably.
Then after you, it is Bryn's turn.
Am I the one who's gonna get 0 stars in the whole
I got
game?
3 stars.
Kids.
I'm gonna go towards the door, just to see, make sure Katie isn't.
You can barely see Katie over the crowd of people at the doorway.
I slip under them. I'm a rogue. I don't know.
Give me an
There's
acrobatics, why not?
I probably should have stated that I have my back against the wall, letting everybody else go through without making it a tight spot.
That doesn't change that the super tall guy and the super wide guy are in the doorway.
Oh, you mean past? Okay, never mind.
Now, Axel's in the doorway and Josul is most of the rest of the doorway.
Bryn runs up to the door and then she goes smack into the back of Josul and she goes, I rolled a 1 on the dice, so a 5 in total.
Josul, give me a strength saving throw.
Okay. Let's see. 17.
Okay. You do not fall forwards into the basement.
Okay.
As Bryn runs into you.
Oh.
So
Can I use my reaction to just move her into the room?
Sure.
I have nothing to use as a reaction at all, so I'm just gonna shove her into the room.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Do you kind of like duck and like flip her over you? Like, go.
No, I just kind of like grab her by like her clothing and just squelch her past my rolls into the room.
Okay, he's 10 feet away at the end of your move, Bryn.
Okay.
And he says, "Are we seriously doing this?"
Wasn't my
I didn't
idea.
want violence.
I was here to talk.
Well, that was good.
You were here to gab. There's a complete difference between gabbing and talking.
It is still your turn, Bryn. You still have an action
Oh,
bonus
it's still my
action.
turn.
Yeah, that was just your move.
Uh,
You have the road bonus action thingy, so you can use that to dash.
I dash and I step in front of Katie and I brandish my sword and I don't do anything. I just stand there in front of Katie with my sword.
You stand there and look at him menacingly. He's not wearing any armor. that you can
Katie's
see.
mom arming you. Like, don't. Come on.
I don't. Can I? Since I haven't done my action, can I ready my action to? If he does try to do anything, I'm gonna do something.
If he tries to do anything.
Not anything. If he tries to
Take a hostile action.
get hostile, yes. It isn't like if he's gonna go for a cup of tea, I'm gonna like turn around and stab him. Like no.
Pulls out a teacup mid-battle. Just unconcerned with us at all.
That's your turn.
Yep.
All right. All the injuries that Axel did to his face disappear before your very eyes on his turn.
Whoa, that's amazing. How do you do that?
And he fixes his ascot and said, "I'm a vampire."
True, true. I mean, that's what they said, but yeah, you're first one I've ever met, so.
And he has his hands up in the air like this. Bryn probably has blade pointed at him.
Still mom arming Bryn.
And
It's okay,
he
it's
takes
okay.
one finger on the tip of your sword and he attempts to lower it. Bryn. He says, there's no need for such hostile negotiations. I don't know what caused the change of mood since last time we met.
Oh, there's been this whole conversation about you. It's been real in depth. Like, really, really in depth.
Just so rolls his eyes.
Everyone else is like, shut up, Katie, shut up.
Abby's doing exactly what Kat's doing, grabbing the bridge of her nose, staring at the ground. Axel's probably like, come back, Cameron, I need you to
Just
throw you again.
cursing in the sand in halfling.
Josul just rolls his eyes and shakes his head, looking up at the ceiling, a smirk on his face.
We'd have been here a lot earlier too, but there was this whole drama with weasels at our house, so we were a little delayed.
He glances over at Axel and I need a wisdom saving throw from Axel. But besides that, he doesn't move.
Okay, well. Come on. Want to pick up?
I'm sure you'll be
Alright.
fine.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say it's 11 plus my aura charisma bonus, so 15 plus 5, so dirty 20.
Okay. This is actually a good question. Axel, what kind of insecurities would you have? No matter how small.
I guess.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. In the moment, perhaps most keenly letting one of my friends die.
Okay. Some of those thoughts seem to surface a bit, but you keep yourself focused on the task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Now, I haven't drawn my weapon. If everyone could just lower theirs, I'm sure we can come to a peaceful conclusion to this encounter." I'm not sure what I've done to you. But I mean no harm to any of you. That's his turn. So after his turn, it is Katie's turn.
I'm standing there and I was like trying to mom arm Bryn, and then like I do like the like, you know, peaceful hands up gesture, and I look at my hands because he just said put your weapons down, and I'm like, this is really confusing for me. I just wanted to talk. I mean, but
What did
I
you?
don't know.
What all did you want to talk about then?
I just never
where
met a
did we
vampire
leave off?
before.
Now that I think about it.
We were saying hello. I don't know where you left off with my friends.
Yes, I don't think I've introduced myself to you. Now that I think about it.
Not to me.
My name is Zolek.
Zolek. Can I call you Zol?
Sure.
I look over my shoulder like, seems pretty nice.
Now, I had mentioned to your friends, I'm sure they've already said, looking over at everybody else, that I have some information that could help you, and not just you, but all of Saltmarsh. And I was willing to exchange it if you could get someone of pure heart to carry me out of here, for I cannot leave otherwise. And Katie, you seem so thoughtful. Would you mind doing that for me? It's almost nothing out of all of you. And I did promise all of your friends, all of your allies, that I would not harm them. And I have not.
I got an 18 on an insight check.
Ooh, okay, let's see here. He appears to be telling the truth, but you can't help but feel like there's something else there. But you don't think he's lying at all with anything he's saying.
On one shoulder, a little Katie is like, I think he's totally cool. And then on the other shoulder, a little Abby throws a mace at her and is like, he's full of shit.
Yes, absolutely, except it's a frying pan.
That's fair.
I thought both of them were going to be lanterns.
Oh,
That would have been a good one too. A white lantern and a purple lantern.
Or you two spiders.
Yeah.
Or two
spiders.
octopi.
Or two octopus.
There's a lot of choices for Katie.
One with the halo, the other with a top hat.
mhm.
Sekald can throw in with a quick sentence, right?
Yeah, talking's a free action.
Katie, he'll say he won't harm us. That does not extend to the town, to the people, to all the lanterns out there.
Lanterns?
You just threatened the lanterns. Oh my god.
You know, using them as bait.
All right. So I
No,
think
he
that-
actually says like lanterns.
and Katie goes, the lanterns.
Clearly, he doesn't know us as well as he thinks he does.
Clearly.
He would have offered Katie the like the biggest pool of like lanterns stored
Yeah.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna like look for my friends back to him like he seems kind of like and I'm still mom arming Bryn, and that's kind of my turn because I'm not ready to hit him yet.
Understandable. Then it is Abby's turn. And Abby does take your move to get to the door that is crowded with people.
What the hell? Katie. I'm gonna.
But also, you are a size category smaller than everybody. So I'll say it's
Sure
just
am.
difficult terrain to squeeze through Axel and Josul. No check needed.
So that makes
Cool.
it everybody inside the room.
Almost.
Yes.
As I slide past
Almost.
Josul, I'm gonna smack him and do that thing that make it go fast.
Ooh, I got the zoomies.
Not quite
Long
that
strider.
fast.
What do you
There
mean,
we go.
almost, Scotty?
Minor zoomies.
Hey, to me, it's the zoomies because I got the squiggles otherwise, all right?
Yeah, it's not haste.
It's the zoomies for me, regardless. 10 feet is almost half of what I can move before.
Yeah, I'm casting it on you and me at the same time.
Okay.
What do you mean almost, Scotty? This is everybody.
Just
I mean,
souls
everyone
in
that
the
was gonna be-
door, not inside the room.
Well, he's past me though.
Yeah, he is in front of you.
That was the entire point. Everybody passed me inside the room.
Oh, right. Okay. He did say past.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant in the room because
No,
He
I just
Soul and
said past me
Axel
or
and you would not be in
Past me or in the room.
No, the entire idea was to have Axel Sentinel in front of me, and then me being behind him doing this.
Okay, well, then yes, your criteria is met.
Wonderful.
As Abby goes in there and does that. Anything else on Abby's turn?
Other than Katie, what the hell? He can't be
So-
trusted. We've talked about this.
So I do have to flavor this just a little bit.
I don't see why I can't be trusted. I have done
Kaboom?
nothing to wrong you.
Kaboom.
As he says, I don't see why I can't be trusted. What's the call do?
Yeah, exactly.
He can't be trusted.
Sekald does what I finally, for sessions and sessions, have finally been able to plan into fruition. He turns into the ice shark. I use Investor of Ice. I am Iceman from X-Men in the shape of a shark. I am immediately blocking the doorway. I am immune to cold damage and have resistance to fire damage. I can move across difficult terrain created by ice or snow without spending extra movement. The ground in a 10-foot radius around me, which is why I stayed back, is icy and difficult terrain for creatures other than me. The radius moves with me. And I also have an action that I can do on my turn if I choose to, along with that spell. But I am a ice shark standing in front of the door as difficult terrain.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Okay. And that was Abby's turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Josul, it's back to you.
Damn it. I gotta play the character. I can't. Yeah, I'm still undecided as to what I stand on
The
this.
two crabs look ready to try to strike anyone who tries to strike him. Well, he's probably actually like right next to Bryn at this point. I forgot to mention that they were doing something on their turns.
I continue to hold my ready to action, and I'm just gonna say, look, and I squelch into the room. It's difficult to trust you because we all know why you were imprisoned here, because they couldn't defeat you before. So asking us to free you is asking us to free someone who the entire city couldn't defeat before, and decided imprisoning you was the better option than attempting to kill you.
Is that what you were told?
Which means you are either so powerful that the entire city is at risk, just letting you free, or they were really, really weak and pathetic when they fought you before. And I'm not sure which of those is true, given the people of the city.
That's what she decided to go down as her legacy. And he looks genuinely sad as he's just like pondering that. I'm sorry to hear that that's what truth you were told.
But then again, I question who we heard that from. I'm a very skeptical person, if that's not obvious. I say, continuing to hold my ready to action. And that's Josul's turn. If he starts to look hostile, I'm chucking it at him. Otherwise, I'm just holding an action because Josul can't. I can't just start chucking, man. He didn't break his word yet, and Josul is a man of his word, despite being a smuggler. I'm a thief of my word.
She didn't imprison me here because she couldn't kill me. Well, actually, no. She imprisoned me here because she couldn't kill me. But it's not that I was too strong for her. It's that we loved each other.
Josul's eyes narrow. Who is she in this equation?
Eleanor Longheart. I don't think
Is
I
her
gave
name
her.
some-
I don't think I gave her a name before for you guys. I just said Cleric St.
I have-
Cuthbert.
I have written down Cleric Sorsha.
Cleric Sorsha. I'm sorry.
Oh, Wait, have we met her?
Can't even remember his lover's name. That's
She
Wait.
was. She was dead by the time we got.
Rock's
So
fallen Sekald, you guys.
Oh, right.
the reason we
the-
went, yeah, we went to Seaton because there's a cleric there of St.
To the-
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
He told us that she died. I think he no, it couldn't have been during this fight, but that she died after she fought him like a century ago, and she's now dead.
Okay. Sorry, it's been a long time since we played this campaign and a lot of stuff happened, so my brain is all farty.
We were destined to travel the seas together. And then one night,
Shh.
I was attacked.
By who?
I assume another vampire. I don't remember exactly what happened. All I remember is waking up in the graveyard 2 nights later.
No honor among vampires, eh?
I'm not sure. I never met the one that turned me. I'm actually going to roll religion for this. I'd always heard that vampires turn others by biting them. But there are no bite marks on my neck.
I look at his neck.
No,
Hopefully
no
they
bite marks.
healed.
No bite marks. No scars of bite marks. I wish to leave to find a way of curing myself. I don't seem to feed the same way other vampires do.
I look at the coffin. Does it have something to do with that?
She made that for me.
The cleric didn't.
Yes.
Do I see symbols of St. Cuthbert on it? Assuming I
In
know what the
Cele-
hell those are.
You know what celestial runes look like.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I had a huge
It's the
arcane
equivalent-
check on it.
It's the
Got it.
equivalent of seeing Arabic symbols.
Okay.
That's what I
got it.
use for celestials, Arabic.
Got it. Yeah, upon hearing that, like, he had a love and he lost it, Josul goes and puts his weapon away. I drop my ready to action.
I just wish to leave so I could be with her again. One night, the town found out about me, and they wanted me dead. She told them she would handle it. And unfortunately, she betrayed me and imprisoned me in the very basement where our house was at. She did it so no one would harm me. And that I
That
wouldn't
does
harm
make
anyone else.
sense. If the town was convinced that you were out of the way, they would have left you alone instead of trying to kill you. It would have been easier to ignore the building than to bother fighting you, especially since the legends of vampires are that they are practically unkillable.
I wouldn't say that. We had
Legends speak louder than actual truth, my friend.
We had killed vampire spawn in the drowned woods before. I'm sure there are many more there.
Undoubtedly. Where there is one, there are many. What are those things? I say, pointing towards the pale crabs that sit next to him with glowing eyes.
My ghouls.
Ghouls.
They
I
can
don't know
leave.
what a ghoul is, but
They can leave and I cannot.
got it. So they are what brings you what animals and such to feed on? I don't see any corpses though.
I don't feed on blood.
What do you feed
What do you
on?
feed on?
Garlic butter.
I just want to make sure I get this right. I feed off of experience. It's hard to explain.
Gonna drain all our XP. We're gonna lose levels. Fuck that.
He's a
That's
2E
literally the
vampire.
joke I just made in
Shit.
chat.
He's a 2E vampire and a 3.5 vampire.
I
The worst kind. Level
can-
drain slap.
since what you all have learned, you've all learned that there was something at your home that you didn't know of before. And you all feel like a slight headache in your heads, but nothing else. And he's like, and you notice like he like winced to like stop himself from something, and like that tiny little headache stops. And he says, but when learns something, I can feed off of that experience. It sustains my being.
This is nothing like a vampire I've heard of before.
It's nothing like a vampire I was told about.
I'm using a different vampire than D&D's, so
Nice. Nicely done. Well,
will you enough of my tragic tale. That was a long time ago, and as you've all said, she's long since passed. If you want to end me here, then so be it. Maybe I can join her in the afterlife. But I was just wanting to go visit her grave one last time.
That's so sad.
I'm sorry, given the circumstances of my past. I look over at Axel and Abby. I cannot help you fight him. If your intent is to kill him, I cannot be part of this. As someone who has also lost that which he cares about, I cannot end another of the same accord.
Infirm of purpose. Get out of the way.
Josul just crosses his arms and leans against the wall.
Axel, you advance.
Yeah, goddamn right, too.
As you do, everybody that's inside would notice that the very long sword that's sheathed in the coffin unsheathes itself elegantly. Just like the sheath doesn't even move, and just goes. And it
All right,
floats right
Alucard.
in front of him towards you.
Let's fucking go. Floating
Did you hear
vampire
that tragic
Jesus.
backstory? This is fucking Dracula, not Alucard.
Well, Dracula also doesn't fuck with her around with swords. That's more of his
Right.
kid's thing. But yeah, the maul's gonna fly back to his hand as he advances as well. It's like I got the flying weapons too. Let's go. And
The sword
Port
like floats in front of him, and then it goes like this, and he
Right.
holds it with his hands like this.
Corey is gonna like pop up out of the hat and it's gonna give me the help action for this one. And I'm gonna use the Great Weapon Master power attack. So I'm gonna take a -5 to my first hit, but with advantage. Ah. Shit, I wish I had like extended crit, but I hit a 19 on the die, so. I don't have extra extended crit on this thing, do I? Oh, well.
You
So
would
that-
hit though.
Yeah, for sure. It's a 28 to hit.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna burn a 3rd level smite
Okay.
for, okay. Does his undead type take extra damage from this?
He is undead, so you would do the extra damage dice.
Sweet. Okay, so let's start with it's 15 base before die because of power attack and the flat damage for stat. So let me get my D8s going here. 1, 2, 3. 3rd level spells 48, right? Before.
Yeah.
And then as
It would be
as
5d8 because it's
yeah,
undead.
okay. Right, got it. Okay. So 8, 7, 15, 6. Wow. So 21. Another 8 is 29 and 2.
So 31 damage.
31 radiant damage plus 2d6 from the bludgeoning, magical bludgeoning. Thank you. Okay, so 6 and 3, 9 So 31 plus 9, 31 radiant, 9 magical bludgeoning, and then another 15 from flat stats.
Wait, so how much was not the radiant damage?
Um,
Because I already did the radiant damage. That's why I'm asking.
so what it was just 6, and so 9 plus 15, 24 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And that's for my first hit, and then I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay.
Or try anyway.
All right.
Well, I rolled another 19, so I'm gonna
Okay.
burn a second level smite on this one for 48. 3, 6, 6, so 12, 15.
The first hit dislocates his shoulder completely.
21 radiant.
Okay.
And 6 and 6 and 5 because I didn't power attack this time. So 17 magical bludgeoning, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Sekald, you would be next after this barrage of attacks hits him.
Oof. So everybody except Axel looks like they're standing down.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I don't think Katie looks like she's standing, or I mean, Abby looks like she's standing down.
I was
Abby
just
kinda-
pissed.
No, I just like Axel, like in between swings, would be like, "You want to go meet your love? She is dead. I will help you to join her. If you will not fight, get out of the room. I am bound by my oath to eliminate this monster."
So
I am the
I'm-
monster to you. As like he's broken to where he shouldn't be able to move, but undead.
Mm-hmm.
He seems unaffected in that sense, but definitely he took all that damage.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So Sekald is actually going to take a brief moment. He's going to ask the vampire. I would stay my hand unless it would assist in ending this quicker. Do you wish to die? Since our paladin doesn't seem to stop.
Does anyone?
Do you want it ended quicker?
Still talking.
Yes,
He-
I already made that
He
joke.
doesn't answer. That's all he's able to answer in the middle of getting beat the crap out of by Axel.
Then I only do this to end this quicker. And I will. I will Cone of Cold.
Counterspell.
I will-
No, I'm kidding.
Fucking Resnet. I don't
I
care
have
if you
to
counter-
immediately correct it because I know at least 2 players here that have PTSD from that shit.
Yes.
I have it because of Resnet. And now anytime you make that
Me
joke,
and
I
Kat.
immediately think of Resnet.
No, man.
Cat,
You don't
Cat
even
and I-
fucking know. This bitch
Yeah,
used counterspell on me twice. Like
Oh.
in the same
Mm.
round.
Imagine you using all your signature spells and they all get counterspelled, and then you're down to cantrips.
There was a bard
Yeah,
in the one
that was
adventure
it.
we had in Trackless Sea that had 7 counter spells prepared.
Maddie had just got, she did not have that many prepared.
She had 3
That's not how
fireball
Gal
spell
works.
slots, and she used all of her counter spells.
Maddie
spell
had
slots for it.
literally just learned fireball, never got to use it in that whole encounter.
Yeah, there were like I lost track at the amount of counter spells that happened. There were so many, it was
I
ridiculous.
think there were like 3.
There
Because
were
I think that's how
th-
many spell slots. she
There were
had
like
for it.
3 or 5. I can't remember. There were so many because it was just like it just kept happening.
A
I'm
lot,
like,
yeah.
how many do you have?
So
What
If-
save do I need?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Hey, this version is not proficient. Interesting. 19 though.
So a 19 does pass, but he still takes half of 46 plus 5, 51
So
cold damage.
You take 25 then.
No. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I, for a second, my brain farted or brain freeze. And I didn't do the math that quick. I apologize.
Okay.
I mean, I would assume
You're
he would
fine.
chosen to fail that save just to end it quicker, but his choice. And I also bended around everybody. So
Then after you, it's Bryn's turn.
I will take my sword.
I apologize. There's 2 other crabs in the room. I should have rolled for them.
they get hit with that. Each creature in a 60-foot cone. You're right.
It's not that big of a
Cone of
basement.
cold, man. It is, yeah.
Okay, one takes half and one doesn't. So I'm sorry. Please continue. Bryn.
I take my sword, and I'm holding it to him at the moment, but I will take in his words, and I will lower my sword, and I will sheath it, and I say, Axel says, if I'm not in this fight, then I might as well leave, and she'll walk out the door.
So it's currently under difficult terrain.
She's a rogue. She can walk
Yeah.
fast.
She can move 90 feet if she wanted to.
And she cartwheels past you.
All right.
Whee!
I'm just going to wait outside the door. Just do that, like, sit back, cross arm thing.
As
Sulking.
As a legendary action, the vampire moves up to Axel.
Who is not currently here.
I know. That's it. That's the legendary action. That happens on Bryn's turn. Is he forgetting about legendary actions? And that's it. You just leave.
I know.
Sheath your sword and leave.
I sheath my sword. I don't leave. I go to the door and I just kind of sit there, cross my arms, and do like the kickback thing. If I'm needed in this fight, I will come, but I am not going to attack.
Okay.
Josul's right next to the doorway, just leaning up against the wall. So there's still wall next to him. You can lean there. We'll be lean buddies. Just lean against
the wall.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the wall bows because we just all lean against it.
It's the the Weird Al fat where they're like in the parking lot and he just leans on the concrete support. It's like,
and the concrete support moves. Yeah.
But, okay, so actually all you missed was legendary action. He moved right up to you.
What does that mean? Right up to me. I was already at melee range with him.
Were you?
I don't have a reach weapon.
Oh, then he would have tried to strike you back. I thought you threw the maul thing.
Can't smite when throwing, so I moved on him.
Okay. Then he will attempt to preserve what's left of himself, and he swings at you with his claws for his legendary action. Does a dirty 20 hit?
On the nose.
Okay. He's definitely not going to attempt to grapple, so... of course, he rolls minimum, so you take 5 slashing damage. As he claws at you with that. Then it is his turn, and some of his damage gets reversed, and the same with his companions. And I'm going to say that since Axel's by far the closest and biggest threat, and they're kind of mindless, both of the spawn are going to go after him. So, hey you. Dice? Dice? Straw dice don't want to be part of this. Okay.
They ran away from you.
Pretty sure that's gonna... Oh, wow. Okay. First one tries to strike at you twice, misses. For sure. Then I got a 16 and a 17 to hit.
Nope.
There it is. Okay. All right. So that's their turns, and then he will, as a bonus action, the sword flies up to you, and it tries to strike you. He got a 19 on the dice, so I know he's definitely going to hit. And it will do a lot, actually. Let's see. Does it have a plus bonus? It does not. So 15 magical slashing damage as it slashes into you. Then, on top of that, because that was just his bonus action, he's going to use his action to fight you. So I'm going to need another wisdom saving throw. Axel.
$22.
Okay. You feel that same itching feeling in your brain again. And he seems frustrated as I need an intelligence saving throw.
An intelligence saving.
Mm-hmm.
2 saves in the same episode, huh? Okay. Well, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. It's a 19.
Okay.
I don't have that good of an intelligence save, but I do get aura protection, so.
All right. So that is their turns. And he says, people like you just never understand. You always treat me as monsters and never give us a chance. Say you fight for good, and for what? Kill those that you deem unworthy? And that's their turn as we go over to Katie.
You're already deemed a threat.
I don't know what to do. He's such a sad story, Axel. He just wants to. I mean, I think he just wants to see his wife's grave. If we took him there, maybe he'd just let you do what you're doing anyway.
If he wants to see his wife, he can do it in the spirit world. She is gone already.
Maybe he didn't ask to be made into what he was. Maybe he didn't have a choice in the matter.
Then there is no freeing him from this condition except to let him rest.
Unless there's a way to reverse it.
I would not be welcomed in St. Cuthbert's arms in this state.
You don't know what else your priest has
You
done?
sentenced me to damnation.
I mean, you were already damned, my friend.
Wow,
We
we are
can
still
reverse.
talking about this.
We are.
If we can
Yep.
reverse his
Anything on your
condition,
turn, Katie?
then he won't be damned.
How close am I to Axel and the vampire person?
Within melee.
I don't want to hit anybody.
Well, actually, square away, because he had to move. Actually, no, wait, sorry. He didn't move because Axel moved to him. So, yeah.
Right.
You're just, like, right there. Bryn came up, pointed his sword at him, and was like, nah, I'm out. And just left.
No, she's wall leaning with me over by the doorway.
Yeah, essentially the same thing, though.
We're both just kind of going like this.
Yeah, nobody's decided to move past the shark sickle yet. So.
Not
No.
yet. How
Everyone's avoiding the shark sickle.
okay, how injured does he look? I just noticed the
Very
timer.
injured. Like, he won't last another few moments with this. Axel will easily be able to destroy him.
Can I Oh boy. Can I like scoop him up and run him to the other side of the room?
You'd be blocked by Sekald.
Not out the door, like oh, I can go
Oh.
50
away
feet,
from
so
Axel.
just away from Axel to give us a minute.
It's 15 feet and you're at the door.
Shit, no.
It's a basement.
You can certainly try.
Okay, Katie.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just move him and put myself in between. Like, wait, I'm not sure yet.
Roll to hit.
Me? Who am I hitting?
You're
The
trying
vampire.
to grapple him.
Oh, okay.
It's,
He
it's
doesn't
less
know
of
what you're
him.
doing.
It's less of him not wanting to do it involuntarily. It's more of he's in the middle of combat and you're grabbing him out of combat.
He doesn't know what the fuck you're about to do.
Okay, that's gonna be 28
Yeah, you're good.
to snatch. Like, I think I just
He's
like
grappled.
tackle and run with him.
He's grappled, and while you're grappling somebody, you can move at half speed with their speed is 0.
Cool. I could go 25 feet. I don't go out the door, but I go.
My sentinel
like,
wants to go off really badly right now.
It can't because he didn't move with his own volition.
yeah, but I'm
How about
moving.
if I just use my sentinel to trip her because she's being a fuckwit?
Do you have the trip maneuvering attack ability?
Can I just make
That's
an
a
attack
fighter
for that?
thing. No, it's a fighter thing.
Okay.
Well, you
well,
can just
you
attack her.
you can say
and
a
feel
non-lethal,
Like non-lethal.
I can just like kick her leg.
You
Wow.
could.
Party infighting on a vampire.
Do you
This
say
is
anything to
straight
Why
up-
Katie?
are you? We knew this.
Wow.
Yeah, what I say is I fucking knew this was gonna happen. Oh god. Okay, so it's what is it? Non-proficient strength? Is that right?
No, it's just a normal attack.
Oh, well.
As long as,
He's
you
not
don't, as long
proficient
as you're
with
not
kicking.
using magic and stuff, you can do non-lethal damage.
All right. Well, I'll try and hook her with the maul and try not to. And like, I'll cherry tap her, but like, I'm definitely
She
going to
dove
stop her
off a
speed.
cliff. You could
So-
kill her and
Uh,
she'd be right back.
That is very true.
Okay. Well, does an 18 hit your AC?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna just cherry tap her for like 1 damage because I'm not trying to actually hurt her, but I am definitely going to stop her in her tracks with Sentinel. So your movement is now 0.
Ow! That's my toes.
Keep him here.
We'll say this is like an unarmed strength, essentially. So what's your unarmed damage? It'd be 1 plus your strength, right?
Which is still 5.
It'd be fine,
Yay.
non-lethal.
Oh, if I'm using the maul for the attack bonus, then it's actually 2d6 plus 5.
Yeah, go ahead. If you're using them all.
But I didn't want
It
to.
would be non-lethally. So
can
it'd
we
be like
just, like,
using the
I'll-
pummel of the maul.
We'll call it 7 because that's the minimum I can roll.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna homebrew this a little bit because I don't like the trying to knock something unconscious rules.
I
Because
don't
it's like
either.
because it's essentially I'm just doing normal combat, but they're unconscious instead of dead.
Right. I don't understand that. I subtly knock him out with my stabbing weapon. I'm gonna just gently caress the blade against his head and hope he
Haven't
falls
you-
over unconscious. That's
Haven't you
not
ever
how that
watched The
works.
Princess Bride? Count Rugen doesn't hit him with the pointy end. He hits him with the pommel.
That's
Yeah.
called a pommel bash, and that's just a club. That is
But it's-
not a D8 damage longsword.
Okay,
That is a
we
D4
won't-
No, it is.
we
damage
won't-
It's just the
pommel.
other end of the sword.
We don't get into semantics, Katie.
Not
Your
how that
movement is
works.
turned to 0 from this.
Ow! God, my toes! My toes! I am hugging the vampire.
He's surprised.
So
Say
am
the
I.
least. Abby, it's your turn.
Cool. Cool.
Pretty cold.
Oh,
It's
I
about
want
a refrigerator in there.
everybody, fucking everybody, to make a charisma saving throw. I'm casting Zone of Truth on the entire fucking room,
Oh boy,
Ooh.
everybody gets +5 to your save within 10 feet of me.
except for the dick face.
Yeah, I was about to say thanks.
I choose to fail.
You know he succeeds on resisting, and one of the spawn don't.
So how much did you say you give us, Axel?
It's +5.
Great. I got a 6.
I voluntarily fail.
I got a 28. It's
You
whiz,
can't,
right?
Unfortunately, you can't voluntarily fail.
I also got a 6.
Okay.
I
Well,
rolled a 1.
What
I
is
roll,
it
but it's
again?
begrudgingly.
Zone
It's
of
a
Truth.
charisma save.
Okay. 17.
19.
And
Okay, so Katie and Josul pass this. Actually,
Who doesn't
DC's
pass
15.
is the question.
I didn't.
Me, Sekald, Bryn,
And a vampire spawn.
and a vampire spawn. I know that he passed.
Yes. Flying colors, actually.
So I look to the
He's-
vampire
He seems
spawn.
almost resistant to it.
I look to the vampire spawn that I know failed. What does he eat? Tell me the truth, or I will kill you right now.
Just burbles. It doesn't speak common.
What
They
language?
you
can, I
understand
know some
Aquan?
of them can speak common.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay, those of you that understand Aquan, you hear from this thing memories.
It said memories.
Oh, you eat your memories? Oh no, we gotta fucking put this guy down. before we forget who we are.
I'm sorry to throw a wrench into this, but I'm suddenly reminded of cats. Please continue.
No.
What?
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I loved
Abby-
Cats, the
Abby.
Broadway play, not the movie.
Uh-huh.
Abby,
Okay, the
do
really
you
useful
say anything
company,
after
yes.
Zone of Truth besides that? Because this was during your turn.
I just looked at him. I'm like, we have no way of trusting you. Everything that I've been taught and he has been taught, looked at Axel, says that you are an abomination that needs to die. Prove to give us a reason for why you shouldn't be killed right now. I have no guarantee that you're not lying.
There's some kind of magic that can detect evil.
Not anymore.
And I think that's my turn.
Like Axel, like just gives you the flattest stare.
What? If he's not evil, how do we know his intentions are? He has done nothing to harm us.
Technically, that detection thing doesn't do evil and good anymore.
No, it just
It would know
detects,
he's
like,
undead.
And
People thought I
But
was.
we can see that. That's irrelevant. Detect good and evil was very important spells. Why did they go away? That was the paladin's MO. Detect evil, like radar. Boom, 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 boom. Detect evil every 5 feet, you know? That's what they did.
People thought I was
Second
evil
and third edition.
until I proved otherwise. People thought I was evil and was going to attack them on sight.
Do you do anything else in your turn, Abby?
That's
that's an action, so that's all I can do.
Okay. Josul, it is your turn as Katie is holding the very injured vampire in her arms.
I can't carry him through the threshold because I am not pure of heart. I have deceived the public. I don't even know how many hundred times. There is nothing pure about my heart. I have cheated the city out of thousands of gold. There is no pure part of my body.
Josul, for funsies, roll me an insight. This won't take any of your actions.
Okay. 15.
Despite how ridiculously reckless she is, Katie probably has the most innocent heart out of everybody here. She's the only one that seems to be willing to give him a chance and is actually trying to get him out of this. It's either that or people are being hostile or they're choosing not to take a side.
What's Josul's strength?
I honestly thought he was leaning out of shot there to ask his wife what he should do.
If I didn't have headphones on, perhaps I would.
I'm gonna go with my lifeline.
Honey, should we
use
kill
the
the
lifeline?
Jessica's not here tonight, so I can't ask her.
Also, with that insight, you would notice just the right opening to stab him in the heart with your harpoon.
I can't. Josul cannot hurt him because Josul has lost his love. And if this guy can't find his, then that means Josul can't find his either. And that's why Josul can't do this. Do I think that I can pick Katie and the vampire up?
No, definitely not. What's your strength?
16.
No, but you could drag them. You're actually pretty strong for a rogue. All things considered.
Con is my dump stat. It's 10.
How? You've got a huge gut.
I eat a lot. That doesn't mean I eat well.
So every time you eat, you get sick?
No. I just try to avoid poison because that's really bad for me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not built sturdy. Okay, this really is all blubber. Literally, not metaphorically.
I guess you're just paralyzed with indecision on here. Because
I don't know if I have anything that can help in the matter.
Yeah.
Let me check one thing real quick.
So hey, how's everyone else's day going? How's your weekend?
Great,
Going
great,
good?
great.
Yeah, no, it was really
super.
really grand. Like we had like Thanksgiving at home and the Metas came over and it was really great.
Cool.
I spent it alone eating microwaved meal.
But I did come and message
sounds
you and
delicious.
offer you a plate if you ever come down this way again. I know it's a little far for you.
Well, it's not just that, it was the other people along with it, me being an introvert, not knowing who these people are.
Yeah, sure. No, I
Plus, I
understand.
don't know if half of what was on that plate. I could barely identify the turkey, so I don't know what other foods were there. I'm not sure if I would eat more than just the turkey.
We're
And
not
that seems
space
insult-
aliens.
Well, it seems insulting to me if you don't eat something that's been given. We're off topic here. What are you doing?
I would have gladly given you a rundown of everything we prepared.
No, not you. I meant just Soul.
Yeah, did you find the thing you were looking at?
Yeah, it can't do anything either.
Just ready in action for if it attacks you
No,
or dodge action or
no.
something?
I move over and I'm going to attempt to chuck Katie towards the doorway.
Oh my god. Roll me a strength saving throw. This is going to be a high DC.
You can drag, but you can't throw that far, can you?
It'd be like a.
I just need to get
you
her
know.
close. Yeah, I just
Katie
need
or
to get
just
her.
Katie and the vampire?
Katie
because-
and the vampire. I'm just going to throw them both.
Okay, you could choose one or the other.
I'm
I
being
can't
eaten.
throw the vampire through the doorway. My heart is not pure. He will dust. Or bounce off. There's definitely not able to do that. And I can't move
You could try and
just.
drag him.
There's also Ice Shark to be concerned about, but I digress.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway.
I need that animated.
I drag.
Also, we have an ice shark to deal with, and it just pans out everybody else and just.
Just remembering that, like,
Just hand
No,
comes
like
up.
Bruce. It's like Bruce and it's like
Yep.
Bruce and Finding Nemo.
I
That's
was
exactly
thinking
what I was going
Stitch from like Lilo and Stitch. Hi.
I guess I'm just gonna drag him towards the doorway.
Okay, give me still strength save.
Okay.
Axel already used their reaction. Anybody
I
else want
rolled
to
a-
use their reaction? Because I
I
think
rolled a 20.
Abby's.
Hang on 1 second.
Yes,
It's a new turn.
it's a whole new turn. Yes.
So
Yeah, it
doesn't
is.
that mean he has his reaction back?
No, he used his reaction this turn when
Yeah,
Katie
it's
went.
got to get back
Yeah,
to his turn.
When it's his
Oh,
turn
he gets it
again, he
back.
gets it back.
Oh, it's his turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the
Yeah.
beginning of the turn.
No, it's
Okay,
when
my bad,
his
my
turn
bad.
happens, he gets them back.
Otherwise, going last would be, or first would be
Right.
really broken.
They'd be the most beneficial. Yeah, I rolled a 20.
Abby's gonna try and stand in the way of him getting
Anybody
out the
try
door.
to stop this with their reactions?
Yeah, Abby's gonna
gonna
try and like physically block them, but like I'm, 2'11" and 70 pounds with armor, so.
Strength save. It's opposing Josul's. What he rolled.
+5.
Sorry. With my the 20 that I rolled, it's a 23.
It would be a 28 because of Axel.
Fuck off. I have a 22. God damn it. I got a 22 total.
Is that with your +5?
Yes.
Mine's 28 with +5. I'm also using Axel's aura.
Axel's like, no, I betrayed myself.
He betrayed himself. Take that.
You notice Bryn,
As I'm
that
dragging
cat
them
is
towards
like
the doorway.
trying to stop it. Oh, sorry, Abby is trying to stop it, and they can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I see them come any close to the door, I'm just going to like step out from where I am and just stand in front of the door with my arms crossed.
Strength save.
How strong is Bryn?
You have
You have her character sheet. You should.
Wait,
I know. I was asking myself because I think I didn't. Yeah.
I just look over to Sekald as I'm dragging them towards the doorway, and I only say one word in Aquan: move.
oh boy, you are not gonna like my response.
Katie, do you attempt to
I don't
circumvent
care.
anyone trying to stop this? As the initiative goes to clusterfuck, as this is all during the one reaction.
I'm so confused. I think Katie's just like, where are we going? What's going on?
Thank you.
I got a 19.
Okay.
That's total.
Both you and Abby aren't able to keep it out of the way. I like to think.
I tried.
I like to think for you, it's just Soul's belly, just you like boing off of that, and for Abby, it's just the sheer momentum of larger creatures moving through her area. Katie, give me a charisma save
Okay.
as you get thrown through the barrier.
Oh Lord. Oh
You guys notice the
Lord.
border turn into a goldish light shimmer.
That's a 1.
And
As in a natural 1.
And Katie goes through, but the vampire does not.
Ah!
Ow!
Oof! Slide on the ice backward.
Oh my god, whose turn did all this happen on again?
Mine.
Oh,
No, it was
It
on
was
Josul's
just
turn.
Soul's turn.
yeah, it's just
Soul's
Soul.
turn.
You're right. It's just Soul.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
Josul, that happens at the end of your turn. After you,
I
it's
use
Axel's.
a
Oh, go ahead.
bonus action to move more, and I just move out the door. Because Josul's convinced if Katie can't take him through the doorway, then he's just gonna die here.
Axel.
He's gonna die here. I am livid, and we are all going to have very strong words about this later. But for right now, I am going to stride up to this motherfucker, and I'm going to swing for the fences.
As you move towards him, a clip tries to get you.
God, let him.
I doubt it. Yeah, 12. No, go ahead.
No, I just like stomp on the crab claw as he goes. Speaking of crab claws, I still have my little Coriander's friend, the crab. It's going to help. So, still no crit, but my advantage is holding firm. So, it 21 to hit.
Yep.
And I'm gonna burn a second level spell slot and a first level spell slot. So does that work out to what, 4 or 5? Because it should be,
A second
3.
level spell slot?
Yeah, second level spell slot should be 2 plus 1 plus another 1 and
Plus
then
1, yeah.
and then plus 1 more, so 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
think you
sinking
could
all of my
burn-
resources into it.
Didn't think you could burn more than one spell.
Yeah, I was about to say, why did you say a second spell slot and a first spell slot?
I thought you could dump as many spell slots as you.
No, you can only spend
No.
1 spell slots at a time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then I'll just make it the second.
Well, it says you can spend a spell slot to.
Mhm. See,
Okay.
what you're thinking was when you were playing the Warlock Paladin combo, because then you can do the Warlock's Eldritch Smite and the
Maybe.
Paladin Smite on top of it.
Okay, well then I'll just roll 48 for this one. But let me get the 2d6 out of the way first.
The Warlock one uses the Warlock spell slots, while the Paladin one uses the Paladin spell slots. It's weird.
Quite right. And so it's gonna be it's 24 magical bludgeoning first off.
Okay.
4, 7, 11, 8, 19. 23 radiant.
How do you finish him?
I just like he looks like a raging. I mean, he's a paladin. Like he's gonna come down with that holy furor and basically just try and crush his head into his shoulder blades, and he will say, "I send thee to thy rest. May the abyss take you."
In the last moments, as your hammer's going down to strike, he just closes his eyes. And just it's gone.
And
Not
I'm going
really
to look
up,
around.
but
I still have 1 attack ready, so I'm going to look and make sure that none of those other ghouls are going to aggress here.
they do.
Okay,
But
well,
you're not in melee, so you could throw it.
I sure can, and I'm going to go ahead and do that.
They seem to go full feral, like they're no longer under control of anything.
Great, 16 to hit on the nearest funny fellow.
That actually does not. It
Wow.
hits, but it doesn't get through the crab shell.
Okay, well, bonus action to pull it back, and then everybody out. No, go. And he's going to start making for the doorway.
You will notice that the barrier dissipates as he dies. Then after Axel, we go to Sekald. Sorry,
Oh, that
Ice
did-
Shark.
Would you please clean up here for me?
Screw you.
Axel has like black blood on him. We'll say from the vampire.
Hey, you can live with that. I'm not prestidigitating that off.
No, it's just fine. I trust you to take care of the rest of this. I know you're up to the task.
I'm halfway tempted to freeze him in his tracks just so he has to fight the crabs for that statement alone.
Because I said I was in full confidence of your abilities as a magician. That's
No,
cool.
because you're telling me to fucking clean up your mess.
I mean, it was everybody's mess already.
No.
So what are you doing on your turn?
Fucking cone of cold. Just kill him outright if I can.
Cons? Con saves?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, cons.
Con saves. 16 was the highest.
Fails. All of
Okay.
them.
Both fail. How much
1
damage?
second. 8d8. Give me 1 second. Don't have that many to roll.
Mm-hmm.
That is 42 plus 5, 47 cold.
Okay.
And any creature killed by the spell becomes a frozen statue until it thaws.
Okay. One of them is frozen statued. The other one is still standing. That's your turn.
I guess I'll turn off the Investor of Ice since nobody that's getting past me is going to be an enemy.
Ah, I slide past you.
Well, there's nothing stopping the ghouls from leaving the room.
Just
Except
by.
for the Paladin who has Sentinel.
And daylight.
Just saying.
And Bryn hasn't
They have
gone yet.
to.
Speaking of which, Bryn. All that's left is one of these crab folk vampire spawns.
How far away is it?
You can move. You could get within it with your move easy.
All right.
Still have action, bonus action.
I'm gonna stab it. Wearing armor?
Technically not.
25.
25 does hit.
Does this count as sneak attack?
You're like a swashbuckler one, right? So it's
Yeah.
so it's either like if you have an ally within 5 feet, or if you don't have any allies within 5 feet, aka you sneak attack.
yes or yes.
Only sneak attack. Six. I only got out 5. Whatever, I'll just roll another one. 4, 6.
That was really weird. I heard the like on the mic, but then I heard them roll in the other room, but not on the mic.
6, 9.
Rippy, it's almost like she's there.
Yeah, crazy. Wait, it's not my bad.
Dun dun.
22.
Okay, how do you kill it?
I just stab it through the chest and I pull it back out. And then I wipe my sword off and I sheath it. And I'm like,
There's no blood. It was
Oh.
pretty cold.
well, I wipe my sword off anyway.
There's
just
still
as,
ice
like,
and crab parts on it, though.
Ew. Gross. Just as like a muscle memory kind of thing, wiping the sword off.
And we're out of initiative as the sword, like, falls to the ground. The floating sword.
I kind of want to pick that up and do some Arcana checks on that one.
How about everyone else?
I don't stop him from doing that, but I definitely want to Abby, we should definitely dispose
Abby's
of his
already
remains.
walking over to the remains of the of Zolek and gonna start like the
His body rapidly ages. Well,
start
what's
like
left of
the
it.
basics of a funeral thing. It's not actually the spell ceremony, but the effect of that of like, send his if there's any remnants of his soul that is good, send it where it needs to go. Otherwise, don't let it wake up again, sort of thing.
Roll me a
And then do the
religion
same
check.
thing for the crapman. Yep, okay. Uh, 21.
You're not sure from where or who, but one of the mirrors outside moves, and a light shines in here as you do your ceremony. And as you do, you swear you can see in the soft lighting of the ray of light coming through. You can see his face as he's smiling at you, and it seems to go up and disappear.
Oh, good
Just
job.
nod, crack, and then goes to the crab, and the two crabmen does the same thing.
Okay.
Whatever is left of the remains, Axel will put to the fire, just for the.
Not in the building.
It's a stone basement.
It's
The roof
gonna
isn't.
be a school. I would prefer not to burn the vampire in here.
Okay.
We can take it out to the beach and do it.
You
Okay, but
notice,
if he moves, you're in trouble.
you notice there's two.
Not gonna move. He's in broad sunlight. If he moves, he won't be for very long.
The irony is she picks him up past the barrier and it frees him and he regenerates, walks away. Thanks, guys. Sorry.
He's like, I will take his legs just to be sure. You can take the top half. I will take the bottom half.
My husband is such a goddamn troll. Sorry, I was giving him like a play-by-play of all of this, and his response was, "That's what happens to squatters in D&D."
Yeah.
I mean, a vampire underneath a holy school, so it's kind of fitting.
No, people are just squatting in dungeons, and then adventurers come in and kill the shit out of them.
It's not a lie.
There are entire web comics that we could go into about this, but
Yeah,
we
there
won't.
is.
We won't.
Let's
Anyway.
not.
Yeah, Abby's gonna start while Axel is dealing with getting the bodies, gathering like firewood of spare whatever driftwood was on the beach to set a fire up.
Oh, that's gonna spark like crazy. Salt-soaked water or salt-soaked wood goes up crazy hard.
I could.
The only other lumber I have is the stuff I plan on using for the building, so it's
Oh no,
what-
I
it's
didn't
what
say
we
don't
got.
use it. I'm just saying it's gonna be a hell of a show.
And different colors because of the. Sorry.
So
The
Colin,
sodium.
Give me an Arcana check.
Yay! I'm really good at that. Completely changed the mood in the situation.
Oh, this is sad. He died. Hey, loot!
Magic sword, sweet. Holding trident aloft. So,
Yeah.
The trident.
Was it 29?
One tier on the trident.
Really? What does a 29 get me?
This is a very rare magical sword. You know it as a blade of dancing.
Ooh.
While attuned to this kind of sword, it can do pretty much what you saw, and it acts independently from the user.
Ooh, I want.
Mm-hmm.
Strap
It
that to my
seems-
back like a link.
This one, since you rolled so high, seems like it was customly made, and you do see some runes in St. Cuthbert.
Well, I don't like the situation that we had to put the guy in, but
Those runes are not magical, but you see they're there.
I mean, if nobody's got a problem with it, I could definitely put that to use. Especially since I'm not attuned to much else. Oh wait, no, I am attuned to much else. I have one
I
attunement slot
mean,
left.
Jasul,
would it be better for somebody that goes into melee a bit more often?
you all
the
notice that
s-
Jasul's gone.
I'm already somewhat overcommitted on magic weapons.
the sword can move into and out of melee without me ever having to get close to him. That seems far more up my alley than a melee fighter. That's all.
Mhm.
Sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack there.
And it has the stats equivalent to a greatsword.
To a greatsword?
Yes.
Cool.
A great dancing greatsword. Holy shit!
Yep.
Yeah, the
Bitch
thing was
was
as tall as
Alucard.
Yeah, it was as tall as the sarcophagus.
Yeah. I would gladly take that.
Okay. Then everyone notices that both Kade and Josul are missing.
Where have they gone?
I don't know.
Well, at least it's no longer for Kade to talk to a vampire. Unless there's another one we don't know about.
Oh my god.
Should we
Look-
deliberate about that one too?
No, I think perhaps we should better go find and make sure our friends did not get possessed when that thing died. I don't trust it. Look, I mean, it trades in memories. Like there was a thing.
Yeah.
They're not here to get scolded about it, but god damned. Did it not occur to them that perhaps these were memories that they took from a victim that they were selling a sob story to survive?
No,
Is-
of course it didn't. That's the whole point. It was selling a sob story. It was specifically designed to.
Make us
Make
want
us
to let him
all-
go. And they fucking bought it. And you could like Axel's like irate and like thundering right now. So
It's
Just-
not.
Does anyone do anything else with this dungeon? / basement?
In
Mostly
the
basement.
basement. No, Abby's just gonna like make sure that we have enough firewood for the pyres, and then is gonna look to Axel and be like, I know that you did what had to be done, and I was right there with you, but it's not a sign of weakness to want to see good in people.
no, but
even
when you are warned against
monsters.
listening to a vampire and believing anything that is said to you, I mean, and then they just go and do it anyway. It's not.
I know.
It is a sign of weakness if you cannot hold firm against somebody who will tell you lies and say just right to your face to survive. I mean, they were warned. We warned them, and like he's just at the top of that, just gonna like throw a firebolt to get the pyre started. You might want to go down and check and make sure that he doesn't have some kind of a
God.
bullshit downstairs. Make him come back again.
So I do want to say that Sekald would have gone back in to try and find a way to move the casket that's on legs. See if there's any way that they can move that out of the basement, if not just take it on back home.
I mean,
Can you drive it out? Like
it looks.
That's what I was
It
questioning,
looks
yeah.
really heavy. Give me an intelligence check.
I'm really good at those.
Meanwhile, Abby's
I've done
gonna
that bit
go
before.
to like the tavern and ask any of the locals that happen to be nearby if they've seen either Josul or Kade recently.
I don't know, but first let's see what the intelligence check was.
21.
So you're thinking that there are quite a few pieces of it that are very unique and custom made. This had to have been made by a very smart, intelligent artificer of some kind. And the only one you can really think of was part of the Circle of Eight that would be able to make something of this caliber.
Well, I knew all of that. I was trying to figure out a way of. I mean, I did.
At
it,
its
I
current
kinda-
state, you would not be able to move it unless you like dragged it out by physical means. It'd be very difficult, and will probably
Do-
require equipment.
What I think a Tensor's disc would work.
It looks too heavy for a tensor's disc.
Maybe mending?
Oof.
An idea. Mending
Oh.
might.
Mending,
Fix what's
mending
rusty.
would not mending would not fix it. It would just put the parts back together, but it wouldn't make it working. It's a machination.
Looks like I'll need somebody's help to get this thing out of here, unless Abby just wants to leave it as part of a relic historical thing.
No, I don't
Also,
want this here.
whatever was fueling it magically has faded off a long time ago. That's
Oh,
probably the
We'll,
biggest
we'll
thing.
come back for it as long as you're. Abby will call as she's heading out to the beach. As long as you're certain that if he doesn't have a way to come back, it can wait until another day.
Inside the coffin, you see a little framed picture painting.
Don't make Callie cry.
It's
Scotty.
broken.
Don't make
But it's
Callie
in there.
cry.
You're the only one in here, Sekald. You were
Yeah, but if I asked
investigating
to
it.
investigate it, if I asked to investigate it, unless she just puts it on mute real quick.
You
All right,
see, you see what looks like a painting of him and a young human lady with peach blonde hair. And you notice him carrying that very same sword, but the his hand's on the pommel, and it's sheathed and it's like on the ground. And she's got an arm around him, and they're both smiling. And you do see that she has robes of St. Cuthbert on her.
So, yeah, I would take that and just kind of.
Besides that,
Chuck
the
it.
painting's pretty eroded. It's hard to tell much more on it. You don't think it would really sell for anything much.
I would, however, take it out and hand it to Abby. I know Axel's probably not going to be dissuaded on anything that he's done, but I believe in Abby's train of thought to try and see the good in the monsters because, hey, I kind of was one.
You also notice that there's a false back on the back side of the coffin.
Uh-oh. Well, I need to check that out.
You open off that, and you see inside spilling out is a lot of fish scales. The chalice that he had the last time you saw him.
Calm down, Josul. You're not here to see this.
I know, damn it. Don't remind me. He
And-
practically said a pile of loot just poured out and everyone's going to go, fish scales, whatever.
And
I
a-
know this was money.
Oh, good. At least one person does.
Sorry, Scotty.
And what appears to be a big pink pearl.
Nice.
Well, I mean, scoop all of that in my bag of holding to deal with later.
Congratulations. Sekald
quite.
found the clitoris.
Not quite.
God
Never
damn
mind.
it, Jesse.
Forget it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Josul. What'd you get on that check?
Let me see. Would that be investigate or insight?
I was just going to go with proficient intelligence because this is like you going through your contacts.
Oh, good.
I guess it would be investigate, but proficient intelligence.
I mean, I don't have investigate either. That's also not a skill I chose to have. Let's see.
This is more of like your background thing. Feature.
Oh, got it. 15.
Well,
I rolled an 8. Sorry. It would have been higher.
you hear that there have been a few people that have been dying from assassination attempts. Quite a few of them have been merchants. Some of them have been upper echelons of the speakers of the council in Saltmarsh. And someone believes that there seems to be some kind of coup trying to go on, where people are trying to get their own power within Saltmarsh politically. And from the information you're finding is all contradicting. Where it'll be like, oh, it seems like it's this person, and then it seems like there's another trail that's from this person. And then like another one will be like, oh, it was probably this person, but then that person actually died from a poison to drink. You know,
So
it seems
somebody's-
confusing.
So somebody's covering their tracks is what Josul's going to get from that.
Yes. You
So
actually
there is a
find
coup going on.
one of them died in the middle of the night with a crossbow bolt in their gut, poisoned.
Sounds familiar. Did the description from the assassins meet some of the assassins we fought?
No one's seen them. They just
So we're
find
the only
after-
ones
they
to
find the
survive
aftermath.
the.
Yes.
We're the only ones to survive the attack. Great. There'll be more then. That's great.
And matching it up with the dates, yours was the latest.
Awesome.
The only reason that we technically survived that
It's because
is
you're
because
adventurous.
well,
Well,
that
yeah.
and the fact that I took the arrow first and then just bamfed the hell out of there to go
Right.
get back up. They didn't
Right.
get a chance to kill me before they moved on to the next one.
It's almost like they knew
Um,
you would be the biggest trouble for them, so they went for you first.
As I learn that information, I send several messages, since message is 25 words or less. I send several messages to Sekald with that information.
I believe message you have to be within 30 feet. No?
Is it?
No, I keep confusing that.
No,
with-
hang on. There's message and then there's sending.
I don't have sending. That's not a spell I can learn.
Message. It's not 30 feet. It's longer than that, but it's 120 feet.
Oh, well.
And it can't go through more than 1 foot of stone or 3 feet of wood.
You know, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I send an orphan messenger with a note to give the note to either Abby or Sekald, whichever the orphan finds first.
Wait, no.
I was going to cut
no.
pan to the orphan looking like they just crapped themselves as there's just a trident like going ding above them on the door.
Because the last time somebody sent me a message by carrier anything, it got torched out of the sky.
Right.
I have a bad case with this.
So I tell the messenger to also, or in fact, I give the messenger a note that says, I come bringing a message from Josul, and I pin it to his shirt.
Okay, I just rolled a wisdom check to see if they were smart enough to not go for Sekald, and they go for Sekald first.
For what it's worth, Abby is in town currently asking anybody that is currently walking around, hey, have you seen either Josul
Yeah,
or
They might
Katie?"
just run into Abby first, just out of coincidence, but
Abby, give me
I
a
gave them
perception check.
Abby and Sekald's description.
Holy shit, that's actually good.
Woo! First good roll of the night.
Oh, okay. My strength check was not bad. You just
All
rolled
right, yeah,
amazing.
I did. I rolled a 20.
That is a dirty 20.
You notice Philip, a dwarven child, doesn't quite have his beard yet, has a note on his chest, and he goes running towards out of town, towards your house. And the reason you know his name is because he's supposed to be one of the students at the school.
Philip, what do you?
He looks back, sees you, and
What
looks
are you
like gives you a
doing?
look of like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, and runs faster.
Oh my god! I fucking chase after him.
Roll me a d20.
Actually,
I
she
mean-
cast Landstrider on herself, so she's faster than the kid now.
Not only that, yeah, I also have my transmutation stone, so my speed is 45 feet right now.
Zoom!
And what is this dex? What
No,
is this spell?
just d20.
I'm just
Oh,
imagining the sound of
14.
all that heavy armor jogging in devil's time like that.
Throws pots and pans downstairs.
Yeah.
All right, that's about
Sound-
accurate.
Honestly, yeah, no, I would run faster from that too.
What's
Can you
your- what's
imagine
your
if your
dex?
like teacher came running at you with the sound of an angry kitchen?
In
My
full plate
dex?
armor? That's a
Nine.
nightmare of mine.
What
I've
do you
woken up
teach-
screaming from that before. What the hell?
A teacher chasing after you in full plate mail, that would be a nightmare. Depending on the teacher, I suppose.
My dex is 9, Scott.
Okay. He is trying to run away from you, but both of you with your short, stubby legs are of equal speed, and he goes around a corner, and he gets stopped by a street brawl that is actually happening in the middle of the street, and he tried to get around it, and he couldn't. And you catch up to him.
What are you running from, kid? Are you okay?
Where's my money? Pulling in the background.
Do I recognize anybody in the sprawl?
No, Bryn might though.
Okay, then I'm not
There's
really
a bald
worried about
guy.
it right now.
He's getting beat up.
I'm just like turning the kid around to be like, "Are you okay? Are you injured?"
He looks fine, but he looks worried that you're gonna like do something to him because he's doing something
Do I
wrong.
see
He has
a
a note.
You
Has
see
a
them?
note
It's
pinned to
clearly
his
there.
chest. I'm carrying a message from Josul.
You're not in trouble. I'm just gonna unpin it.
Wait,
All right, as
What
you unpin
language
it,
did
he
you write that in?
bolts.
what language did you write that in? Can she read Auckland?
Common.
Oh, okay. That would have been so much funnier.
Or I was thinking you were gonna do thieves' camp, but
Oh no, then the only person who could read it was Bryn.
You
I
can't
would have
what?
said go find Bryn because she's the only one that would have understood what it said.
Anyway, so yeah, Abby, you have the note. The Philip runs away, and what does the note say exactly?
The note says exactly what you told me about a bunch of assassinations happening throughout the city. Ours is the most recent. It gives dates, all the information I found out about the assassinations. And at the very bottom, it says, I'm still very upset about what had happened with the vampire. If he can't find his love, maybe I can't find mine. And that's all it says.
Katie, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm in the
private
tavern drinking.
Oh, okay. All right. So while you're at the
Yeah, that
tavern,
tracks.
she rolled really high, by the way. She gave me a private message and was like, I rolled a 50,000 on my stealth check. And I just leave. And I'm like, okay.
I've got a forge fire hard
I have
cider
a
and I'm chilling
13
at a table.
passive perception. She's gone. If she spends the minimum effort, Abby has no chance of seeing her.
Does anyone have higher than a 20 passive?
No, for sure. Yeah.
To be fair, Sekald probably wouldn't be looking.
That's fair. Also, I slid past you on my ass on the ice.
I
Right.
was probably too bothered laughing.
Yeah.
Probably. No, I'm in the tavern. I've got a forge fire hard cider, and I'm writing in a little like rolls of parchment I have. I'm like jotting some things on a parchment. Sitting at a table in the corner.
You hear rumors from like a sailor talking about a pirate attack that they survived or something. But besides that, you're not really hearing much else. Just normal other chit chat. Actually, I'm gonna roll this real quick. Fishing has not been going very good, but then again, it's like autumn, so fishing's always kind of meh. Actually, no, wait, that makes no sense. Autumn is usually when it's the most, because it's like breeding season for most fish, so they're more active. Or maybe that's just salmon. I don't know. Whatever.
Unless there's 2 or 3 Aquans constantly going for meals down by the shore, where most people try to fish.
Everyone's like, "Where are the fish? We tried to get them in this canal, and they're just gone." And you just see like a dragon underwater, and it's just like, ah.
I was gonna say like it Gilligan cuts to like Josul at the beach with like a toothpick.
He knows him with that dragon that he's made as a friend, and they're both just like,
Yeah. Belly slaps, underwater. Wiped out a whole school of fish, just the 2 of us.
He turns into a dolphin, but it's like a river dolphin or something.
Right.
They belly bump, some sailors see it, they wonder what kind of mating ritual's happening.
Oh,
Yeah. They probably
Another
would.
sailor that's a merfolk's like, that's racist.
the other one's like, that's hot.
Probably.
And then they both start making out happily ever after the end.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so do you do anything else, Katie?
No,
that
I'm just
night.
sitting,
Okay.
drinking.
All right. So we're just gonna cut ahead real quick. So, Abby, you get everything cleaned up and situated. The basement is cleaned out. You guys probably find one way or another, maybe the town help to get that weird contraption out of the basement. The weird sarcophagus.
That night, I would before it gets to evening, Abby would go find Katie before the night is out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I assume given enough time, I would have just eventually find her.
I apologize. You asked that like a half hour ago. You would have immediately, like when somebody asked, you're like, oh yeah, she's over here.
I would go and report back to the Church of St. Cuthbert and advise them that the vampire has been dealt with.
Okay,
and then I would have to go check in with the Order of the Pearl. But I'm not talking to anybody else right now because he's pissed off at everybody like not having us back when it was necessary.
Seaton is a like a 4-hour journey by wagon, if I remember right.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't realize it was the next town over. I'll just send a messenger for that shit. Fuck.
Okay.
But I definitely would go to like check in with what the elf's name? I can't fucking remember his name. Oceanus.
Oh yeah. Just more of the same. Like undead have increased in the sea, in the Azure Sea, but the Order has been doing as much as they can to quell it.
Well, I've been doing my part. I can't kill a vampire today. My team, some of them were not very happy about it. I do not understand.
They pour you a drink.
I don't know, man. It just, I don't know if they're gullible or if they're just too kind-hearted, but like, fuck, we gotta get the job done.
One of the veterans there, so like a older Triton fellow, we'll say he's wearing like a mithril plate or something fancy, whatever. He says, "Actually, sometimes it's hard for surface dwellers to understand."
I don't think this is a wet versus dry problem. I think it's just people with like luggage, or no, that's not the word, baggage. That's what I mean. You know, backstory problems.
Yes, but
This was a weird vampire. He was like a brain vampire. He's like the cleric friend of mine. She cast the Zone of Truth and like, well, like of course he passed, but like
a
no, check it out.
psionic vampire.
Yeah. No, the crab ghoul there said that he feeds on memories, which was kind of weird. But like, it occurred to me, it's like maybe if he feeds on memories, maybe he's like spitting them back up again, and he's just like spinning this big tail. But I don't care because he's a vampire, and we are oath bound to eliminate things that should not be, and there's a thing that should not be.
Do you know when he was turned?
Come again?
Do you know when he was turned?
No, he don't even.
Psionic vampires are supposed to be extinct.
Well, he didn't even know how he got there. He didn't have any bite marks.
Well, you know that he was imprisoned about a century ago.
Oh, who are you? What? You just hear the Dragon Ball Z teleport, and just Abby's there.
Just the memory of her voice in your head.
You're right, yeah, about it. It's maybe like a century or so.
Just a very tiny seal.
But yeah, no, it's
You don't need to take your adoptive daughter here.
Just 21 and up.
Has she been smoking? She looks really old.
Okay, I will fight you. She could drink you under the table.
She
Maybe
probably
not,
could,
but
yeah.
she could get very fucking close.
I'm
I
sorry.
was gonna say, when you're drinking under the table in an underwater bar, like you have to like hold it upside down, or else it'll like just drift away into the turf.
Mm. Well, I'm glad you got rid of it. That must have been one of the few rare ones that got away.
I mean, it's kind of a shame we cannot study him, but it's more dangerous left alive than not. But my
I
colleagues, they
agree.
do not seem to understand this. I do not know if I can trust them anymore.
Trust is a hard thing to come by, and it has to be earned.
I understand, and like I am willing to extend, the opportunity, but like this was a bad deal. Like me and Abby, the cleric, we told him straight out. It's like, look, this thing is going to try and charm you. It's going to tell you whatever it needs to do to survive. And they heard this, and then they still went and tried to listen to him. And like, one of our others, like, actually tried to bodily pick the damn thing up and hoist it out the door. It's so frustrating. And like, she's very effective in a fight, but damn if she just does not have this sense of an octopus dropped on his head.
We'll say his name's Skeel. Skeel puts his webbed hand on your shoulder, as he's probably sitting at the same table with you. Because they just have like a bunch of round tables that are just like super nice. Maybe they're like one half of a giant oyster, and you guys like, it's like this nice big pearlescent castle that you guys are in, underwater castle. And he
Does it have fancy gravel around the entrance?
probably,
Fancy colored gravel.
yes.
Ah,
And every once in a while, you just see like a Locatha just like grab one, just just
Right.
grab another one.
Straight up fish.
I want to play a Locatha. They're great. The new versions look very much like cleaner fish. In that case, the just because your allies were persuaded and deceived by the undead creature doesn't mean that they were going against your intentions. You will just have to stick with your beliefs and hope that they can follow.
I mean, I will do what I must, but I I had to hit my friend today to stop her from trying to take the vampire out of the room. It did not feel good. I did not like having to do that. I do not want my allies to have to become enemies because they cannot listen, or because they will not believe me, or because they are too soft-hearted to not knuckle down and get the job done when it needed to be.
Cue the sound of a trident being thrown at somebody at the front door of Sekald's lab.
I don't know. It's just maybe I need to take some time to just think about whether I can continue to run with this crew. I mean, I like these people. I like this ship. It's a nice ship. We get to do things and see things, and it's just been a wonderful learning experience. But I don't know, man. This is it's a bad day.
Remember our tenets. You do not always need to be the flow. You can also be the ebb. Not all confrontations can be solved by violence, says a little Catha probably behind you. Listening
Yes,
to the
I know.
conversation.
But this one definitely could. When there is a time for peace, when there is a time for talking, and trust me, we have done a lot of talking about this. We went around in circles for it feel like days. But at the end of the day,
It's literally.
I am oath bound to destroy this thing. I mean, I had to do what I had to do. But there are other better moderators and wordsmiths and talkers in my friend circle than I. And when it is their time, I will shut up and sit down and let them get the talking. But they would not raise their blade to help me today, and it felt like a betrayal.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shit. Not muted.
Sorry. I believe that you're overthinking it. Maybe they were trying to find a peaceful conclusion when you had already concluded that there wasn't one.
That is exactly what had happened. I mean,
Remember that you're supposed to be an example of calmness, peacefulness, and tranquility to those around you. Acting so harshly against your friends makes that difficult.
I don't want to be harsh against my friends, but it is very hard to remain tranquil in the face of the thing that you are sworn to destroy, and
That's true.
and not also be called to act. You can swing a hammer with tranquility. I mean, it's tough, but you can manage. But you can't say that you are going to support somebody, and then when you go and you are in the moment, and then you decide to just stand against the wall and cross your arms and be useless. Like how can you trust somebody in a fight like that if they're going to just suddenly decide, no, I don't want to do this?
Oceanus chimes in on the conversation at this point, and he says, sometimes there isn't one correct answer. Sometimes it's not always black and white. I agree with you. What you did was completely righteous, and what needed to be done. The fact that your allies could not see through that is an issue, but it is not something that should break your ties with them. I would seek a way of getting their trust back for you.
I don't feel as though I am the one who needs to be making amends here.
No, you don't. They need to make amends for you.
But getting them to see that getting them to understand that they have wronged me here.
Do you know why they had done that? Did they give you any reasonings for their actions? You gave them yours from what you've told us.
Yeah, so okay, so it's like this. I don't know about the little seal girl, the captain, the one with the seals. She's got a lot of seal friends.
Another seal was like, shit, you know Silky?
Yes, I suppose.
Is she hot?
Not now. But she just did not seem that invested in the whole thing. Like she just did not want to take a side. But
they're just like Bob, get out of here.
Yeah, no. The monk friend, she is the sweetest person. Like, but she would literally try to make friends with a shark while it is biting her leg.
Sounds like a friend to me.
I mean, it it is beyond the point of like this suspension of disbelief how devoted to just being friends with literally everything in creation this person is. I am frankly amazed that she has survived this long. And not by lack of effort on our part, but also like our merchant friend. Should I forget what is his race?
Merfolk.
Is he just straight up Merfolk? I didn't
Yeah.
know. Okay,
You
I
can say
was-
mermaid, merman.
he's because he keeps having a trident, but I keep wanting to call him a triton. No, that's not right. Anyway, so yeah, the Merfolk. I think he was. I feel like his motives were undone because he saw him as too much of an alike character. They had this, big sob story, lost love, and somebody that he wanted to go back and try and find for the last time before he died. I don't know, some bullshit, but she was already dead. I mean, she had passed on to the great beyond years and years ago, so there was no like great reunion waiting for him. And so he just, well, at first he stood aside, and then he went so far as to try and like literally throw the two of them because the monk friend tried to go and give the vampire a hug, which what I don't understand that. Maybe she was charmed, but
That's what it sounds like to me. It just
Try
doesn't
to,
sound
like-
logical at all.
bodily throw the two of them out the door. The vampire had a some kind of a ward or something. He could not physically leave the building himself. He needed someone purified to carry him out. It was some bullshit. But she
Sounds like a
he-
high-level clerical spell.
it would yeah. So apparently he was like sealed in by some cleric of St. Cuthbert. And I'm not
Like everyone.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Another one of those. Yeah.
Right. But like he went from being like just non-committal to actively impeding the mission here, which was to eliminate the vampire. But like everybody wanted to talk to the vampire and help the fucking vampire. And I'm just like, what is the matter with you people? Ugh, he's very frustrated. Give me another. He's like pounding.
Just slides over.
Thank you. I don't know, man. I need some time.
Well, you have all the time you need here. This is a sanctuary for everyone of the order.
I mean, I just can't leave them other. There's other shit happening at the same time. Like there was an assassination attempt at our house the other day. So I don't have the time to take and process and think about this. I just have to deal with it in the time that I have. Yeah. Anyway. I think that's enough for me for now.
Abby, when she finds Katie, would just go in, not even say anything, just sit down at the table next to her and get a glass of like whatever is the strongest free thing, because I don't have a lot of money.
When Abby comes in,
Remember, you all have drinks for free for life.
well, yeah, but when Abby
Yeah.
comes in and like comes to the table, like Katie's drinking her drink, and then she just like slides a mug that was already there over, as if she knew Abby was gonna come looking.
She'd down like half of it and go.
It's a nice hot cinnamon, like a hard cider.
I get what you were trying to do. I understand it. I don't know if we'll ever know if any of that was true or not.
You have the photo.
I don't know that exists.
I gave it to you.
So this is Abby. Like, I feel we didn't really talk about exactly what you did with it. I think you mentioned you were going to give it to her. As far
He
as
said he gives
I'm
it to you
thinking-
after he took it out of the coffin.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like as I was walking out of the school
Okay.
with my bag of loot that I didn't tell anybody about,
Right.
I literally handed you
Okay.
the photo.
Look at this photograph.
Okay. Speaking of that,
It's still
real quick, I
Mhm.
apologize for intervening. Sekald, you find the following in there, and it's up to you how much of it you take out. You have the dancing sword. There's a bunch of worthless shiny shells, damaged pearls, and long coin-sized fish scales. There's 2,200 copper scales, 1,700 silver scales, and 100 gold scales. The pearl is worth at least a few hundred gold. We probably need to talk to Josul, figure out how much it's worth.
I think didn't you say you just dumped all of it into a bag of your bag of holding?
I'm
That's
just saying what
exactly
he
what I said,
visibly
yeah.
sees as he's There's a chalice that seems to be made of an old tin cup and a bunch of barnacles, like the barnacles are the bottom part of it. There is a bunch of musty noblemen's clothes. And there is that old rotten chair that would probably be worth a lot more if it was refurbished. And most importantly, sort of one of the crab's holes that they were hiding in. There
Thank you
seems
for
to be
phrasing it that way.
Yeah, right. Perfect English. A circlet that seems to be made of coral. Strange origin.
Jeez, sounds like a list of loot from Sea of Thieves.
And
Which I
it
love,
does.
by the way.
Back in the tavern, Abby still says, I don't know if it's possible to know for certain if everything he said to us was the truth. I mean, Axel seems to think that because he could eat memories, that maybe he stole somebody's story. But regardless, I get what you did, and I don't fault you for it. But I also know that there are going to be things in this world that no amount of love or sad backstory or dead loved ones are going to make okay. It's entirely possible that he did love her. And then he was turned into a vampire and forced to feed on the memories of everybody in this town for years. But I feel like if we're going to protect this town, we need to be able to talk about these things. There are going to be situations where it's not an easy choice, and we're not all going to agree. This isn't a thing they train you for when you're learning to be a cleric. I'm an old lady, but this isn't a conversation I ever thought I was going to have.
It's very complicated. I just kind of wanted to get to talk to him. I know everybody else kind of talked to him.
I know, and I'm sorry that we didn't let you. Trust is the thing I think we all have to work on here. We
Yeah.
were scared that there are some vampires that can charm people. And I know that you are 100% certain that you could resist it, but we don't know that. That's not always, it's not like a thing that you can just, I choose to. There are some creatures that you don't get a choice. It just happens.
I'm going to take Abby by the shoulders and look her right in the eyes and say, I might not be able to resist it, but my mind is so slippery that I can shake it off, even if they get a hold of me. You don't have to worry about me. I'm a lot stronger in the brain than you think I am.
Not all of it comes from magic, Katie. It's
Oh, I don't
entirely
have any
possible.
magic. I'm not good
No,
with magic
I'm
at all.
not saying that. I'm saying that he doesn't need to charm you with magic. He can charm you with his words. Like,
Oh, yeah.
literally, like, make you feel bad for him, doing the exact thing that he did.
I
Regardless
felt
of
bad.
what,
And I think he was telling a little bit of the truth, but also I don't know, I kind of got a feeling like there was something else there. I didn't get there before everybody started coming in, and it got real loud, and then I just couldn't really catch hold of what it was. I was almost there, I think. But yeah. Also, I never met a vampire before.
everything you meet, you want to befriend it.
Well,
And that's the thing that I envy you for. I've seen a lot of monsters in the service of Yandala. And that's why That's where that hesitation came from. I know that there are going to be monsters out there that can lie really, really, really well. And that's what we were afraid of. That's why we did what we did. That's why Axel did what he could to try and stop you from protecting that thing.
Just so you know, I didn't plan to take it out either, but
yeah, just all
also
kind of made
so
that
you
choice
know.
for you.
Well, also so you know, a great many of my current friends and past friends have at one time or another tried to eat me.
That's fair. We do know a friend who's very well known for throwing
Cuts to
oversized forks at people.
Cuts to Mr. Blue Sky, and it's just like every single time Katie has made allies or something that try to eat her. And
Oh my
every
God, I
beat,
wanna
it's a
do that.
different scene. Just dun 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 dun.
Smash cut. Yes.
I want to see this.
Something shining in the sky. Sorry,
But-
continue.
As much as I know I would love to have the time to just sit down and think this through, I would really love a quiet walk just the long way home, just thinking about everything that happened. I don't think that that's a thing that we can really risk right now. And I'm going to put the note that Josul wrote down. I think what happened the other night is happening all over town. Saltmarsh is in danger. And even though we're having issues right now, we're the best protection they have.
I turn the note around and look at it, and I'm like, more assassinations. I think we probably need to get home.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I don't think any of us should be by ourselves.
I also think that, yes.
I need a to-go cup, please.
Just walk into the sunset, into the water with a to-go cup of vodka.
That's not a thing, but you can just have
It's
that
all right.
cup.
I'll
You
take
can
this one. I'll bring it back tomorrow.
Okay.
Just imagining we could fucking breathe water, so you just take a bottle and just put your thumb over it until you're ready to drink and just put the whole thing in your mouth. So stupid. I love it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell the person at the bar whose name I can't remember, if you see any of my friends, especially Josul, let them know that we're heading home and that we want to see them there regardless of what happened today.
Yes. Actually, I don't think about it. This letter came in, and I was actually going to have someone bring it up to your house, but it's for Josul. I hand you a letter.
Does it have any kind of iconography on it or anything?
A nice cursive common that has Josul's name.
Okay. I'll make sure he gets it.
And it just has like a simple wax cover. It's not like a signet or anything.
Hey, Katie, you have a bag of holding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Can you put this in there so it doesn't get wet when we're in the water?
Mm-hmm. Open up my satchel, plop it in, close it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna swim home, I think.
I don't know why, but I just immediately think, like, Callie already knows, but the just traveling montage of you guys swimming back to the house. For some reason, you guys are doing like dolphin swimming, like jumping in the air, and it's just playing the Jurassic Park theme song. Well, it just pans.
Well,
It just
also
pans
there's
to the
the
swimming.
moments where Katie
Like the
runs
Rings
along the
landscape
surface.
panning, you know?
Yep. But Katie like runs along the surface over the top of Abby, and then
If Sekald wasn't already back at the house, it would then pan to him behind them and start playing the Jaws theme.
And partially because she's paranoid, because I know that we have assassins after us, and partially because I don't want to completely outpace Katie, I'm gonna switch my transmutation stone over to dark vision.
Wait, how fast are you in the water?
With the cloak of the manta ray, her movement speed is, I think, 90,
Not quite.
something like that.
60.
It's close.
With the transmutation stone and with Longstrider, it's a speed of 80.
Yeah, see, I was close. I thought it was something
But
like
it's been
that.
a
I was
few
like, I
hours, so
remembered 90 for
Longstrider's
some reason.
gone.
Yeah.
So,
So with
never
the
mind. Abby
transportation, 70.
is David Hasselhoff in the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, God.
Just skips along the top of the water and Mac just sprays to the side like a speedboat.
Mhm.
I'm imagining like Daniel Radcliffe in Swiss Army Man.
That's eventually, at some point, you guys do get through the letter to Josul, right?
Yeah,
When they get back
because
to
Yeah,
the
we're
house,
going home.
just
He's in the
Soul's in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys are back at the house, and you're at the kitchen, I guess.
There's like 6 plates stacked up next to him and another plate in front of him. And he's just like snacking on stuff that's there.
Abby just has like a bucket that she's wringing her hair into. We got a letter for you from the person at the bar.
Oh. I look at
Hand
it.
it over.
It's written in thieves' cant, I take it.
It is not.
Oh, it's
written
not?
in
Okay.
common,
Just common. Got
and
it.
it says, "What's your last name, actually?"
Lennar.
Son is
Dear
Zoom in.
Mr. Lennar, you do not know me, but I know you. I go by the name Eleanor Lovitch, and I have heard of what you and a bunch of other people have done around the lands of Saltmarsh and seas of Saltmarsh. My
Keep
brother
reading.
has been wrongly accused of murder, and he is due in the next few days for his execution. I know this is a long shot, but I was hoping that maybe you and your allies would be able to help prove his innocence.
I suppose I'm assuming there's more details here, like with information about where we can go find out if he's innocent or not.
My friend says that you remind her of a loved one she used to have. And that we are, and a bunch of other stuff, she says. And essentially, at the end, she says, "We are at the styes. And please come as fast as possible. Time is of the essence."
I relay that information to everyone else.
You know, that's a few days of travel. About.
We would be getting there almost the time he's due to be executed.
Here's the question. Has anybody seen Bryn or Axel? I think I can hear Sekald banging around down in the lab, but I haven't seen either of
Sekald's
the
here.
two of them.
Suddenly there's an explosion.
You hear muffled downstairs.
Oh, more weasels?
No,
Oh, okay.
I have
pretty
not
sure those
seen
things are
Bryn.
never coming near the house
You,
again.
you just see, like, for some reason, the weasels are on 2 legs, and they're, like, at the door, and they're like,
Oh,
and you just leave.
Yeah, Axel's not there.
I have not seen Bryn yet.
What has Bryn been doing?
To be
That's a
honest,
good
I don't think
question.
we asked Bryn where she went or what she did. So that might be our fault. She could be here.
It's just playing some, like, punk music, and it just shows Bryn behind one of the shady taverns beating the crap out of a guy for information.
yeah, Abby wandered off and kind of lost track of pretty much everybody except for the handful that she found.
And then you see Philip almost run into her, and then Abby shows up. Oh, okay. You go full circle.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Where's
The
Bryn?
people she saw beating up in the street was Bryn beating somebody else up. That would be funny.
I was fully expecting that after I walked away, Bryn showed up to kick both their asses for fighting.
Bryn just walks in a little bit later, and she is like stumbling in, and she's like, "So I'm guessing you're gonna ask me to pack my bags, so I
What?
might as well
No.
just grab them."
Sit
Why
down.
are you packing? Where are you going?
Yeah, because we need you to go with us to the styes to stop someone's execution.
The styes. No,
Bryn, you would know what the styes is.
I know what the styes are. Bryn knows.
At this point, Abby's making sandwiches for everybody. She doesn't have the heart to actually make a meal.
I'm looking over
The
Bryn's
rest-
shoulder and I'm like,
The rest of you would know the styes as the equivalent of Detroit.
Oh,
I am not
Jesus
joking.
Christ.
Yeah.
I lived there for 18 months, so I have a very vivid picture right now.
Rip.
Bryn, you didn't. Where Axel's not with you either?
No.
Oh,
Does Bryn smell of booze?
Yes.
Ooh, so do I.
But
But
we
I
would
smell
never
like
ask you
cinnamon.
to leave, Bryn.
No, we're in this together.
Your sword is just as useful, and the city needs as much help as it can. There are assassins afoot. The ones that attacked us were one of many, many assassins,
Wait a minute.
not just a couple.
Who's this letter from? Do you know them?
Ah, do I know this person? Have I smuggled stuff for them before?
No, you have not.
Oh,
How do we
do
know
I
that
know them
this-
because I've smuggled stuff around them?
How do we know that this isn't just a ruse to get us out of the city and
It sure could be.
allow more people to get it ganked while the protectors of the city are gone?
People are dying left and right all over the city. I certainly think that getting the only people who've survived the assassins attack so far out of the way seems like a fair move. However, this person in question gets executed one way or the other. If there was a way for us to teleport there quickly and come back, that would be great.
Sure would be, but we only know one person in town that can do that, and she bounced immediately. We still have to deal with that.
Well, I'm assuming she's probably still around here somewhere. Unless she knows what's going on, then she might have already
You
fled.
do know of another wizard in town.
Oh, we do know of one other person who could help.
We do know of a
That's not in the basement.
I wonder if he's still around.
Are you talking about Resnet?
Yes, of
I
course
don't know.
am.
He does have an apprentice in town. She might be able to cast it. I don't know how powerful she is, but there's a chance.
For the safety of the
but
town, maybe
also
we could get the costs of the teleportation. waived.
Sekald's master is in town. He's kind of a jackass, but he's helped us out with spells before.
He may be able to help us as well. That's true. We need to get there in a hurry and get back quickly, so we would need him to come with us. So
I'm
we
gonna
can get
knock on the
back just
trap
as
door and
quickly.
yell down for Sekald.
I rescind my question, and Abby already got there.
Sekald also comes up drunk, as everyone's drunk. And they're like, let's go! Go now.
I'm making sandwiches. Get
The
up
only
here and chat
person-
with us.
The only person who could possibly show up at this point and won't be drunk is Axel, because like Captain America, he can no longer be drunk.
Oh no, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
drinking with what's his name? Oh,
yeah.
Axel,
that's right. You can't
do-
get
yeah.
poisoned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
immune to
immune to the
poison,
poison
so
condition.
We'll-
so
he can't.
For
he
the
So
sake
can't
of
be drunk.
convenience, we could say you come
He's-
in today. Like it's been a few days.
I would have at least rolled up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, right?
He's like Captain America. He
It's-
can't get drunk.
Everyone came home drunk. It's 3 or 4 in the morning. So
Yeah.
you show up.
Okay. So
Abby is absolutely the type that she would stay up, try to stay up, and make for everybody to get home, but end up falling asleep in an armchair.
which is funny because I would not be coming in through the front door.
Fuck, that's right.
Are you making tuna fish sandwiches?
No, I'm making 3 fish sandwiches. I'm very hungry.
Not you, Abby.
Axel, on your way in,
I mean, probably. We're at a fishing village.
Then Sekald would Misty step up immediately in sitting position. It's like, yeah, what?
on your way in, you would notice that your normal sleeping spot at the pier on your way in has someone taking that spot.
Who is in my berth?
You have a light. You have your light source, underwater light source of some kind. I assume like almost like an anglerfish looking glow. And you see a sea lion, and I'm not talking about a like seal. I'm talking about a sea lion.
Is this
And
one
it
of
looks
the
like
boys?
it has a few scales missing and a few scratch scars on it.
Hold
but
on.
it is curled up on top of your bed, like double covering over your seabed.
Hold on. I'm gonna make a nature check because the last time Axel
We've
checked,
heard of one of these.
the correct number of
is it-
scales to have on a sea lion was 0. So,
Is it wrong sea lion? Is it The monster sea lion. Is it Borky?
I didn't. Is it one of the boys? I don't know.
Is it Borky?
No.
It's
Okay.
Borky.
Okay.
Actually,
When I say
recognize
sea
this
lion,
beast?
when I say sea lion, I mean like you know how mermaids are humanoid. Think that, but the upper half is like a lion.
Oh.
You encountered one of these when we went to an underwater
Yeah,
tower.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I literally thought though that it was just like one of
You
Bryn's
remember?
friends would come
You would
hang
probably
out,
remember
crash on my
Josul
bed.
talking about having had one as a pet.
Yeah, actually, no. Now that I know the one that we're talking about, yes, but we need a different name than sea lion because that's an actual thing.
Borky.
Sea cat.
Borky. I
It's Borky.
It,
I don't-
it
I
literally
just-
is in the monster manual
I-
that, and it's always been that way, and I don't like it. I like sea cat.
I
For that
just
same
I like
reason
sea
for
cat.
you.
I like Sea Cat better.
Like he
I
would
can't-
not have this if it wasn't for that confusion.
But
Right.
I
Yeah.
like Axel cannot cope with this shit right now.
It's just like fuck. Katie brought home another one for friends.
No, not even that. Just like, okay, sure, this is happening now. And but like also I'm not about to try and like not sleep in my own bunk tonight. So like in Awkward, I'm gonna be like, hey you get out, come on, you gotta move.
It's your old bunk before you guys moved into the house.
Oh.
Like it's at the docks of Saltmarsh because you're swimming in.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was like in the house in the caverns.
Now
Okay.
that would be great though.
So, but like, okay, I
You open
guess
up the pantry. Borky, what are you doing? in there?
It's just in the pantry. It'd be in the whole pantry, but it'd be in the,
I
from
don't-
one end
it's
to
a
the other.
walk-in. It's a walk-in pantry.
It would be at that point. It's a big
So-
boy.
So
or
when I'm
was.
just like I'm swimming home from the bar and I come across this big sea lion sitting in my old haunt.
Yeah, you haven't been there for a
Um,
few months.
Okay. So I mean, like, was the light on, or did the place look like it had been like ransacked? Was there shit spilling out the door? What was going on here?
I mean, it looks like a bull went through a china shop, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well,
You
do
know,
see-
Josul was missing one of these.
You do,
yeah,
see, you do see some dead fish, like severed fish tails floating around in there.
yeah, no, it's okay, but like, at the same time, I
One-
don't actually.
One
speak
corner
s-
is particularly very smelly.
I don't have speak with animals, but I do have a lot of good charisma. So I'm gonna try and make an animal handling check to see if I can like coax this fellow to follow me.
Okay.
I might try and catch a fish first to help.
If you want to try to catch a fish, give me. Are you going to attempt to
Survival,
noodle?
maybe?
Are you going to like noodle and like try to make your hand look like some kind of bait, or are you
I
going
don't
to
wanna-
try to tickle a fish? If you know what that
Tick-
is.
I think fish tickling.
Okay, I got rules for that. So
I know you do. So let's rock this
Let-
boat.
Let me get to it.
I'm gonna go use the little merchant's room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But yes, I think it's time for some fish tickling.
Okay. So
We're gonna keep calling it fish tickling and make it increasingly more uncomfortable every time I say fish tickling.
give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. 17.
Okay. So for those that don't know what this is, it's essentially you're attempting. It's a thing you can actually do with fish in real life, where you like you literally like just softly brush the underside of a fish, and then you try to get them to flip over. And when they're flipped over, they're kind of in like a sleeping passive state. And actually, you do it.
Yeah.
You can literally, like, people that do this can literally do this and then grab the fish and pull it out of the water.
Yeah, that's a fun that's a fun technique.
So you have a pacified fish.
Cool. Oh, I kind of feel badly for this fish, so I would like to like well, oh well.
You could just say
Use
you
this as
unarmed,
like
like unconscious or something, or just
Yeah.
You just kill it.
Mercy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and use that to try and entice the sea lion.
Okay, you have advantage on animal handling because you have food.
Huzzah. 18.
Okay. There is like a low rumbling through the water as you approach your former den, and as you start to get close, it stops. The purring noise stops, and You're like,
I will
you're like, no, it's fine. I got food for you, or whatever. And
I'll
like,
speak Aquan to it because I figure that's probably more likely to work than.
blurp,
common.
blurp, 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 blurp. And it starts to peek its head through, and it kind of snarls at you. But then you show it food, and it's like, it grabs it and goes back into the den.
Come on. Come on.
Pops its head out now, looking a lot more complacent. You notice the fish tail sticking out of its mouth.
Do you want more? Do you come on?
You notice one of its eyes is milky, and it's got a scar on it.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Few of his whiskers are missing.
You say he's just a baby. He's just a baby.
And he does follow you back.
Yay. Okay. So I will come in and I will.
He kind of gets in your way, like as you're swimming. He's just like rubbing up against you as you're swimming, and you can't really.
That's okay. That Axel's a strong boy. He can handle like a large dog-sized presence trying to bump up onto him all the time.
I mean, there's dog size, and then there's like
This is a large size
lion
creature.
size.
Right, but like so is like Tibetan Pyrenees and things, and he does have 18 strength.
That's true. Yeah, you're fine. It's just it's awkward.
He likes to wrestle, but that's okay. So yeah, he'll come in the waterway with this new friend.
As you get close to the dock of the house, you notice that the sea cat immediately like ears go up, and its nose starts going, and it swims over towards one of the rowboats that you guys didn't get rid of, and it starts sniffing around the rowboat curiously.
Check it out, and I will use some of my own scent perception to see what he sees or smell what he smells.
It smells like Josul.
Oh, okay. Well, that goes to track. She's like, yeah, you want us? Come on, we'll go see him.
It follows you onto shore.
Cool. Well,
It seems just fine on shore. It doesn't look
I'm
like
just imagining that the rest of us are sitting in the living room with like Josul's like absolutely horrifyingly strong homemade booze, sitting around eating fish sandwiches and just.
Oh, I hope you have another. I told you needed to make 3 in a fish.
And just hear the commotion of a 200-pound lion mermaid.
Oh, it's more than that.
Clambering through the halls.
It's way more than 200
below the
pounds.
trapdoor.
Well, I was gonna say is because if Axel would have come in through the water inlet, like through the dock, right? So like it's coming up through the basement, past Josul's room, past all the things up. Got to try and make its way up the stairs. Maybe he should take it around the front.
You notice that it doesn't listen to you, and it's trying to go. It's like following the trail.
Oh,
It's the straightest route.
Okay, I'll just walk along with it then, I guess.
You know,
Abby hearing that nonsense.
It's not like a big blubbering idiot, so it's not like it like just runs into shit. It's actually being as elegant as it can for being a sea cat on land.
Given the state of the old place, I wasn't
sure. It still sounds like the biggest of the boys trying to come through a rather narrow place. Abby is like...
You all are in the kitchen, and you hear in the other room where the trapdoor is at, this horrible like bang and scratch noise.
Abby takes one more swig of the booze, picks up her sandwich and a frying pan, and walks out towards where the trapdoor is.
I'm gonna be like bodily lifting him to try and like give him a helping hand.
Josul comes along.
Okay.
I'm gonna put these 18 strength muscles to use, and I'm gonna like help. I'll use the help action to
can
bodily
you pick
lift.
up off the ground? Because I just looked how much he weighs, and I don't know if you can move it.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
what is it? It's 15 per point. It's like 15 times your score.
The front half is like a lion, and then there's like the fish half. So it's big.
So it's like shy of 300 pounds, I think.
Oh, a lot more than that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to. Okay. The trapdoor opens, as you go to open it. And as you do, just missing you is a sea lion that pounces at you. Just all.
Abby screams and throws the sandwich at it.
Does this sea lion look awfully familiar?
At first, you're completely surprised. You probably pull out your weapon. Then you notice that something seems familiar about it, and it doesn't seem like it wants to hurt you. And you notice that it's hard to tell because it has so many scars on it, and it is a lot thinner than what you remember. It's not like starving thin, but it's not like
Right.
bloated fat. You remember it being a big
He's
fat
not
cat.
overfed. He's average fed.
He's just fed.
But
Oh,
you
Borky,
you
you've come
recognize the smell of
back.
dead fish dead fish breath anywhere.
Borky, you've come back. Here, I thought I'd lost you. Maybe there is hope after all. Yes, I know. You look like you've been starving, at least compared to what I used to feed you.
Abby will look down the trapdoor,
Purring
knowing
very
this thing
loudly.
probably couldn't have navigated a ladder.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
no,
see
there's
Axel's like
stairs.
just
I thought I
Axel's
always think it was a
smiling at the
ladder.
bottom of the stairs.
No, it's
like,
stairs.
it's dude.
It was a ladder originally, but then the place got refurbished.
We have tuna sandwiches if you're interested. Just saying. I'm gonna make more. I'm assuming I just say that
As Abby
like,
appears, like the dorsal fin part of Borky, just like he doesn't have one. He has the mane. His fur just kind of like frizzles up a little bit, and he's like, as he looks very ferociously at you. As you see a lionfish cat in the
I calm him
room.
down and I'm like, no.
His claws go back.
She's going to make food.
Abby will just like use her toe to very gently push the sandwich that she chucked when she saw it closer to him.
You hear Borky go, and it pukes up what was left of that fish.
Oh,
Oh, looks like he likes
Okay.
you.
what a sweetheart.
Thanks,
And that's where
bud.
we're gonna end it tonight.
On the hairball of friendship.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Can I help you? Sorry, my dog is like throwing a temper tantrum under the desk and just body checking everything around me to be like, I need to go the fuck out.
We did run a bit late.
Yeah.
So we'll make these quick. So we'll do plugs. Why don't we start with Josul? What do you got going on?
Oh, well. Stay tuned, because if you missed the last episode, the whole squad got past the big blockade of epic moment that we had. So everyone who was there got to participate. We were minus a few people. I am sorry if you missed that one, but now we can progress the plot even more because the party has secured the quantum chip that they were looking for and is now going to repair the Elven Communications Array, or ECA, in order to restore communications to the rest of the verse. However, there's still the matter of that demonic static. Wonder where that's coming from. It's probably something we'll deal with later. Stay tuned.
Probably nothing too big. Probably don't need to call in exorcist.fm. Katie, what do you got going on?
Oh, hi there. That's me. I'm Jeanette. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter tag is below. Normally tomorrow we would have Skull and Shackles at 4:30, but we're going to postpone this week due to people having family obligations. So find us in 2 weeks at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time for that on my channel, Uncanny_Adventures. And then Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., if all the players are available, we should be having some Call of Cthulhu, Shadows over Stillwater. It's going good. You know, everybody's in quarantine. It sounds familiar. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I have going on right now.
And you can tell we were in a fantasy world because everyone was complacent with it. They're just like, okay, sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds smart and responsible. I'll do that.
Yes.
Bryn, what do you got going on?
Hello, find me at Cap Callie on Twitter. Gonna put art there. Unwritten every other Tuesday. the opposite Call of Cthulhu. Someone punched a nerd in the face last time, and it was great. So if you would like to watch that, that'd be great. It's on Fracture Moon, D&D Vex's channel at 8 o'clock every other Tuesday. That's it for me.
Okay. Why don't we go to Abby? What do you got going on?
Hi. So my next thing that will be going live will probably be Baltimore by Night. That goes live on Monday, so the 29th at noon. That is on my channel Crow and Chimera on youtube.com. So keep an eye out there because we will also be hopefully coming soon, depending on how much college is kicking my ass, have our first episode of our Dishonored game up. So I'm looking forward to that. That's super fun. I'm excited for that. Yeah, that's most of my stuff.
All right. So Cole, do you got any closing thoughts or plugs?
No.
Nope, I didn't think so. Thought I'd ask now. Just to be fair. And you can tune in 2 weeks, which I think will be sometime mid-December. So not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after, the 11th. I just pulled up the calendar. For our next Ghost to Saltmarsh game, where the crew might be starting the final adventure in the Ghost to Saltmarsh book. It's called The Styes. So we'll see where that goes. The next game on here will be Rime of the Frostmaiden on Wednesday. The group just had something really big happen that's huge spoilers for the campaign. But I'll say it anyway. The group was going to find some Drugar in their fortress because apparently Drugar were making some big super weapon that's some kind of dragon. And they show up right as the dragon leaves the fortress and flies towards 10 towns. So now, next Wednesday, we get to figure out what the party's going to do. Are they going to chase after this dragon? Or are they going to try to get rid of the Drugar first? Well, till then, thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.